And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to give once again a big shout out to Valvedrix, Zira, and Rax for both helping me. They actually helped me just do a Q's Cup now, so we got most of a level out of that, so that's going to help a little bit. I also want to give nice, big, open, obvious gratitude to Andrianus K89, Casal Zhao, Raximus, Frank Chiappa, Rasolisu, Nevermore 084, Mike12192, Ginger Ninja 1, Recursive, Exum, and Falderis. Thank you, everyone who has donated to making this run happen. Your interest, and you're awesome. Thank you. Yes, save changes. What the hell's a Skywatcher? There are no Skywatchers. He's lying to me. I'm gonna have to stab him. So let's see what Alphino has to say. Assuming you have no objections... Wait, I object. If we time our arrival right, we may be lucky enough to see why I have yet to set foot in Ilmore, despite my best efforts to do so. From here, we head west across a small bridge. Okay. Oh my god, it's the most terrifying thing ever. Oops, wrong button. West is this way. Pay attention more. Let me just inch my way. Oh god, really? Hello, Takota. And hello, Rasolisu. And thank you again, Rasolisu. Rax is like, bye! Oh my god. Calucia seems peaceful, does it not? Almost familiar. Yeah, I had a similar impression of the Crystarium. Even in a distant world, people are much the same. To think whenever a calamity struck the source, a reflection such as this one, with all its culture and history, was being erased from existence. Yeah, it's pretty horrible. No, get away from me! Oh no, it's... Oh my god, Valvedrix, are you okay? Don't worry, we'll come save... What are you wearing? Actually, I like that vest. It looks really cool. Oh, hey, there's the first time I've actually seen the up indicator on the quest objective thing. Oh no, it's... a forgiven cowardice. I do not forgive you. Be dead. Oh yeah, and don't let me forget to talk about FF7. My poor heart, thank you, young sir. There you are. In my haste, I lost my bearings, but I see you have the situation fine. Yes, I know, Alphino. I'm the fighter, you're the talker. It's okay. I'm cool with it. Be alright, madame. Just a few bruises from where I fell. Nothing compared to what was in store for me before this brave soul came to my rescue. I honestly thought I was done for. My feet are not as swift as they once were, and I knew there was no one left to hear me scream. Not that I let that stop me. I should probably leave my old house behind and queue up outside Ulmore with the rest of them. Doubt those fancy lords and ladies would welcome an old crone like me. Still, even a shack near the gate is safer than here. One would hope. Either way, I suggest you avoid wandering alone, lest you make the Sin Eater's task any easier. Thank you again. You saved my life. Now, yeah, I'm sure a strapping young lad like you has little to fear. but I wouldn't linger long in this place. There's naught to be had here but cobwebs and memories. God, I'm double his height too. 'Tis as the lady says. Many in these parts have abandoned their homes to live in Ylmore's shadow. Should the Sin Eaters descend on this region, there are precious few with the strength to fight them off. Including you. Speaking of which, what have you been told of these monsters? Quite a bit. Ah, yes, Alizé would be well qualified to speak on the subject. It's weird that they're actually acknowledging I did the other quest first, but I'm down with it. Compared with Amarang, Kalusia is almost a haven, but as you saw, we cannot let our guard down. Have you arrived but a few moments later, the Sin Eaters would have claimed yet another victim. Still, we have won a small victory this time at least. Shall we press on? We need to return to the road, where the road forks, and follow the path to the west. Well, I got about 2/3 of a level Omega Legion, which is too little. What the? Yes, they are, Leander. Shush. Destruction. You know, I just realized we actually have an interesting crew here. So we've got a Viera, an elf, a Hume, and a cat. I don't remember any of the race names. I actually like that idea, Rex. I mean, it's once a day anyways, right? Mithra, that's it. Gotta slowly meander my way away. Inch by inch. Some soup. I'm here. I'm awake. What? Oh, there it is. God. Sorry, I was just trying to make a point. that is unacceptably slow. But I can't ding the expansion for it.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Ylmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
I thought I recognized you. Brought a new friend, eh? I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
Yeah, sure. I like to call this one force over area applied. Stab!
He's not here to compete. Leave him be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please!
Bum bum.
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all. Ylmore extends its warmest regards.
I'm sorry, I was just kind of humming the Zorn and Thorn theme. Gestures of the Twin Moon, FF9. But this? This is the song they're going with? Fun fact, when I was a kid, when I first played FF4, I used to have to turn off the sound during the parts where this song played in FF4. Why? It freaked me out too much. Yeah, this is Calbrinica de Danse, or the Dancing of the Calbrina, or Calcabrina, or whatever the hell they decide to translate it as. It's had like 4 different versions.
Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu.
I like that one, Omega Legion.
Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We may not at all.
Fish, is it?
I think my culinarian is like level 2.
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon.
Okay. On the one hand, that's horrible. On the other hand, that makes perfect sense. It's the end of the world. We're all going to die horribly. Screw it. I mean, that's actually a really easy to understand mentality. Now, I wouldn't do that personally, but that's just because I'm a defiant asshole. I can see a lot of people being like, you know what, whatever. Whatever.
A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
And then eaten. By the way, Captain Zeus, you have warned me a total of 5 times not to eat the food in here.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in a city of splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor.
Yeah, they're totally going to eat them. Also, her voice is weird.
Of course you
Oh, just look
follow
at those
me.
expectant
They all
faces.
do.
What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident.
1 whole piece of bread? Wow, thank you so much.
To you.
I appreciate the fact that you've decided to stop stepping on my face 5 times a day and are only doing it 2 times a day.
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gatetown, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity, yet the whole arrangement just seems... well, let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Well, that makes sense, Vigilant. I understand now. And thank you, as always. And I put that towards Empire at War. Now you understand why my attempts to enter the city thus far have come to naught. The dubious privilege of residency must be won via contest with ever-changing rules. Oh my god, Rax. They say this policy has been in place for the last 2 decades, ever since Yulmore's current ruler came into power. Yet from what I've seen, it does more harm than good. Not only does it distract from giant things of Gisselgreens, but it robs them of their self-sufficiency. I've tried to propose ways they could improve their lot, but my words invariably fall on deaf ears. The attitude is so entrenched now. I worry that, well, maybe you should take a turn around Gate Town and judge the situation for yourself. Nah, I'm out. Screw this town. Peace! What I do want to do is this. That's what I was going to pull up. Apparently I get horoscope in 2 levels. I don't know what horoscope does, though. Whatever. Whoops, this way. Why do I keep getting warped away? No, you're a Dragoonoscope. That's a difference. Still here, are you? Can't blame you for wanting a slice of Yulmore's pie. If you ask me, you should ditch your sour-faced brat and make home for yourself here. Gate Town's not much to look at, but at least it's safe, and the meal is the best I've ever tasted. It's so delicious and... Ah, God. No! Oh, sorry guys, Chupon took me away. He was taciturn, but terribly powerful. It's so sweet and succulent. It tastes like... Ugh. Oh God, they're having water and meal stew. The game is the worst game I've ever played. Ever, 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 ever. I mean, WoW is just better in every way. Wow, 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 wow. Can you imagine a more beautiful city? Every day I dream of the life that waits me in those walls. I wish I had camera control. Oh, will they ever pick me? Okay, I gotta be real. That looks ugly to me. I know, aesthetics are aesthetics, but the first time I saw that I was like, ugh. And then I thought, that sounds like something that looks like something Amano built. And then I realized that people would stab me if I said that, so I decided to leave. Oh, hang on. Valvedrix wants a duel. Alright, hang on. Let's see. First we're gonna do this. And then this. Ha-ha! You cannot pretend... Oh, wait, I put the barrier around you. Damn it. Oh, well. Let's try that again. Round 1. Fight! You've seen what Gate Town has to offer? These people can no longer fend for themselves. They've become dependent on meal, and they believe Yulmore is the answer to all their woes. Yet no matter how I frame my encouragement, they seem unwilling, nay, unable to conceive of any other way of life. 385. Necklace, or belt. That's a little bit better. Ugh, I got random crap on me. I'm only at like 75%. I'm fine, I'm megalated. Why are these questions? This is the suck. Let's go. Let's beat the crap out of these Yulmore. Okay. You remember what I mentioned about the difference between I'm a hammer and he's a talker? Wield me, Alphino. Let's go smash the town, kill the nobles, and fix this situation. I mean, I'm down. 'Tis difficult to make a final judgment without first seeing the city's inner workings. Mayhap it is uncertainty that always makes me feel so ill at ease here. Not that it matters, however unjust the system may seem. If these people claim to be content with their lot, it's hardly my place to criticize their choices. But take the elderly lady you rescued. Does it not seem that those who have chosen to forego Yulmore's largesse are doomed to suffer for independence? In the end, they are forced to seek refuge in Gate Town, and so hamlets and fields across the island are left empty and unattended, hastening the region's descent into ruin. Nay, I am not convinced Ylmore's generosity truly serves the best interest of the Kalusia people. I am not so naive as to think that some miraculous solution to all this. I can think of one! Yet I cannot help but frown at the sight of hard-working villagers struggling to survive, even as the chosen few rejoice at being plucked away from poverty by the hand of a capricious noble. There has to be a better way. I will not know for sure, however, until I've taken the long-delayed steps through those gates. 'Tis so fortunate you arrived when you did. I've been working on a scheme to insinuate myself into the city, and if all goes to plan, it should soon come to fruition. The plan is... just smash. No. The plan is... oh, yeah! That's the plan, right there. God. There's a beast tribe who makes its home in the seas surrounding the island. The Ondo, and you and I know them as the Sahagan. For the most part, they keep to themselves in the ocean grottos and rarely have dealings with land dwellers. But as Totaro took great pains to impress upon me during our stay in Kugane, business favors the bold, so I reached out to them. I duly discovered that Ondo are inordinately fond of land-grown produce, fresh fruits in particular. When I offered such produce, they promised to pay in pearls. An attractive business venture for any prospective investor, would you not agree? Even surely the most jaded Ylmore and Laura would have a merchant who can make pearls from plums and pumpkins. Seriously, Rax? Yes, I've come a long way since my days of buying samurai swords without first negotiating the price. I still remember that. The sword that would buy a house. Although, I've always been irritated by that, because every bit of that made sense, except for the fact that when he sold the sword, he basically got only enough money for food. Like... anyways. My appointment with the Ondo is due in a few hours. I just need to collect the produce and meet them on the shore. Will you help me make the exchange? Yeah, sure. Oh! I'm surprised how unoften we have been doing that. First things first, then. We must pay a visit to Mosha Moa, my supplier in right. Come, it's northwest of here. Yeah, I literally have a Magitech armor. A sky armor. With guns. I think we got this. So... okay, it's obviously people, right? Like, I don't even feel like that's a spoiler at this point. But here's the thing. Oh, dear God! And Rax is about to vomit all over everything. Anyways, it is so obvious that this is a they're eating people kind of a situation. And if I have to explain why, allow me to elaborate in brief. So there's the city, right? Just past XM, right? Where's the farmland? Now, I'll just answer this for you. There is no farmland. That is not arable soil on those cliff edges, and there's no arable soil inside that city. So, you could say it's from the sea, and that's possible, but that's basically it. Like, there's not a lot of possibilities there for what exactly they're getting that food from. And if you were paying attention, they actually made a point of saying that people are abandoning fields and leaving them to go fallow. And yet... I hate you, Valvedrix. And yet, despite all of that, they're not trying to bring people in bringing produce or other things that are from the fields. I mean, think about that for a second. You'd think that vegetables and fruit would be the kind of things that would be considered luxury items, or at the least something they would pull in on a regular basis, and yet they don't. Anyways, whatever. We'll see. We'll get there when we get there. Thank you very much, XM. Much appreciate the sub, as always, sir. And that one's going towards Baldur's Gate 3. I mean, I've only done that dungeon like 6 times, something like that. But I've never even seen it drop. Never mind actually getting one. I suppose you could argue that they have magic ways of producing food or whatever. But no, there's clearly something up with the food. They wouldn't have bothered to spend so much time and effort on showcasing it, as well as giving it a weird, unique name, while showing it as a method of controlling the populace otherwise. Why, thank you, residential mother, exclamation mark. All things appear to be going well, period. I just started a new run today, comma. Final Fantasy XIV, period. I think I've told you about that one, period. Actually, I'm not actually willing to buy the blind argument. You know what I am willing to buy? There have actually been studies done in real life about how people need exposure to some kind of daylight and nighttime in order to function. This is true for animals as well. Animals and people will literally be wrong if they don't have regular day and night cycles. So, like, even if we presume it's purely cosmetic and there's no magical radiation or whatever, just because there's light all the time, that would cause issues, if nothing else. Good day to you. This is my associate. We're here to collect the produce I purchased. I loaded up your lackey with the goods not too long ago. My lackey? Mistle lad, short blue hair. No? He come on your behalf. Oh my god, we've been robbed! Oh, time to kill him. This charlatan was here not long ago. He couldn't have gone far. We should split up and search the area. Okay. I mean, I suppose the best they could do, meanwhile, Zira's trying to kill me here, is literally do the whole blackout curtains thing. But still, ooh. Whoops, wrong way. Oh god, no kidding, Leander. What are those? Those are called stars. What's a star? It's a giant ball of fusion constantly exploding in space. What? Like, seriously, you ever try to think about how to explain stars to someone who doesn't know what they are? This again? Okay. Let's see if we can find the suspect. Clearly the suspect is right there. Da-na-na-na. Hang on, how do they know about stars if they have not seen them for about 4 generations? Hey, kid. So, if you're lucky, I'll just rip your head off. Oh, and I will. Make no mistake. You have a keen eye. Let's move! They have books about stars. That's actually funny. What are you wielding, Valvedrix? Or wearing? Writing? We'll go with writing. What are you writing? What in the world? Aw, I must have missed it the last 2 times then. It's a... What's an Easter egg for, Valvedrix?
There you are.
Oh, God, voice acting.
The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well, forgive me. I have to get into the city.
Okay, no problem. Let me just grab your head here. Hang on. Stop struggling. Stop struggling. There we go. All right. Give me a second. Okay. He's in the city.
I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry.
So I'm going to go ahead and get real here for a second. I've actually been literally medically starving in my life more than once. And I will admit, it does some weird things to your mind. Like, you start to get a little bit frenetic. That's the wrong word. I don't know how to describe it. You get... less thoughtful. That's how I'm going to phrase that when it comes to food.
I thought maybe I could steal your idea, get in that way.
You know, you could have eaten the vegetables, too.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Tell me then, Kai Shear. Must it be Yulmore or nothing?
Well, clearly it's Harian. I mean, Harian's the only reason this is even happening. Thanks, Harian. God.
What of the Crystarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Yulmore.
Why?
That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Yulmoran's interest.
Thank you very much, Hariant. Much appreciate the support and the sub. You know the question. Where do you want to put it?
You'll give me your place. Just like that.
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more. What comes of it is entirely up to you.
I'd like to say I'm going to put about 90% chance this kid dies in this story arc.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you!
This was but one path. There will be others. But for young Kai Shear, it was the difference between life and death.
No, it wasn't.
I do not regret my decision, yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world, that countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless?
Or you could have told him to go to the Crystarium again. I mean, I gotta be completely blunt. If we're like, hey, here's a safe haven that'll take you in. They'll give you work and food and shelter. And he's like, no, I've got to be with my friends. Then that's on him. Anyway, Sexy Bertel, you got it, Hariant.
I suppose not. Were Estinian here, he would most likely scoff at my soft-heartedness.
Same old Alfino, ever the slave to sentiment.
And again, I'm with Sour Cookie. If it was my mother's in there, or my wife's in there, or my husband's in there, or my child is in there, okay. You know, that's a little closer, it's a little more connecting. I can understand, especially if you haven't heard word from them. But no, it's just, my friends, we said we'd be in paradise. That's not a reason. Hi, Josh Morrell.
But I thank you for your kind words nonetheless. Let us see to it that both these stories have a happy ending.
That's the other reason he's going to die, right there. You just jinxed him, Alphino.
Turn to right, then.
Way to go.
Is that...
What? I don't see anything.
I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble.
I guess, Leander?
Come on. They may need our help.
I don't know. I feel so little sympathy for this kid. It's strange. I don't know. Ah. Where's everyone else? I'm alone! Magnify. Oh god, I'm walking. There we go. Alright, time to head over there. But it's... I can just go. Game! Oh, fine. Whatever. I figured it out. I figured out why... What? Wow, God! That looks so weird. Don't I have that? I guess I don't. Thought I did. Oh well. Wait, how do I... No! I can't join him. It's full. It's literally full. Wait, hang on. Here we go. Now it's letting me. 1, 2, 3. I'm guessing 3? Yep, there we go. Oh, yeah! Wait. There we go. I'm ready. Let me try to... Oh, Jesus. This really is Batman's car. Holy crap. Who knew? Hello, Rodden. Yeah. Okay, now eject! Or, there's no eject button. Whatever. I sure hope not. I don't want to mute it hard time. Okay, so anyways, I want to explain real quick before I advance this quest why I have no sympathy for the kid. Now, some people may disagree with this, but let's hear the difference here. You don't understand. All my friends are in there, and we all promised we'd go to paradise, and we'd live in paradise together. Versus... No, you don't understand. All my friends are in there, and I haven't seen them in weeks, and I haven't even had a word if they're okay, and I'm just so worried about them. Do you hear the difference there? I think that's ultimately why I just have no sympathy for the guy, because his motive seems to be the selfish angle rather than the selfless angle. It's not the fact that it's just friends. It's not the fact that it's not family. It's the fact that he's just like, no! We're supposed to all... Yeah, no. Screw him. Yeah, I doubt I'll ever have a pet again myself, period. I think I've told you about that, actually, period. You can have all the cats instead, period. Should I heal him? I mean, I can heal him. Here, check it out. Wong. Okay, let me really heal him. There we go. Ultra heals. Oh, I guess I can't wear these. I'm not in the car anymore. Probably Rosaliso. That should take care of the worst of the injuries. Mercy, I beg you. Breathe easy, sir. No harm will come to you here, except for the starvation, the possible magical radiation, the sin eaters, the locals who will kill you just to, you know, steal whatever's on you, and the rich people who will kill you because it's funny. Oh, and the monsters. Sorry, that's 6 things that'll kill you. Poor man's shivering. Keep an eye while I get a fire going. Get a fire going. Oh, we're not going. One more step, till we've had a breather. I thought for certain I was dead. How do I repay this kindness? I didn't ask you for anything. We'll settle for a tale of your current predicament. Why don't you begin by telling us your name? Bob. My name is Bob. Oh, sorry, Tristel. I was invited into Yulmore to work as an artist. A wealthy couple took me in to paint pictures for them, but when my style proved contrary to their taste, they turfed me out onto the street. I was left penniless and patronless, a grave sin in Lord Vothry's city. Within days, they brought me before the man himself, and he asked me what I meant to do. Dejected as I was, I told him I wished to leave. Little I know how soon he would grant my wish. They flung me over the balustrade into the ocean. From up there, how were you not dashed to pieces? Don't ask me. Luck, I suppose. Though if you hadn't found me when you did, it wouldn't have counted for much. Monstrous. And the citizens condone such barbaric punishment? Oh, without a second thought. When Lord Vothry passed to judgment, no one so much as blinks, let alone argues. In Yulmore, his word is law. And he's probably the super fat guy we've seen like 3 times so far. Or I've seen. Yeah, they didn't eat him. That's actually very strange. Why didn't they eat him? Look at that. Look at all that meat. That's got to be like 150, 140 pounds of meat. They just... Oh, that's it. They were trying to... Okay, so then they salt him up, and then they just hang him out to dry, and it becomes beef jerky. That makes sense. The more I hear about Yulmore, the more determined I am to see what awaits on this walls. Why don't we just force our way in? Oh my god! I shall bend all my thoughts towards securing another way towards the city. Oh god, beef jerky! We should convey Tristol to the shelter of the village. Fire or no fire, he needs to be out of the chilly coastal air. Away into the city? Where's it want me to go now? Back here. I'm just going to warp for this one. No, a home-cooked meal is when you lock people inside a home, set fire to it, and then eat what is left over. Pray, accept my deepest gratitude. I owe both of you my life. Now, if you permit me, I'll assist you in your attempts to enter Yulmore, insofar as I'm able. To be frank, the thought of sending my saviors into that awful place makes me sick to my stomach, but since it's plain you've set your minds on it, you should take this. It's my favorite paintbrush. The Yulmore and Elite are never satisfied until they get exactly what they want, and if I'm not mistaken, the couple I mentioned will be looking for someone to replace me. If you make a show of owning such a well-used brush, you may be able to convince the people you have a talent for painting. You son, this is your livelihood. We cannot deprive you of such treasure possession. I would gladly give it for all you've done for me. Besides, I don't think I have the heart in me to paint anymore. As to do what instead, I'll have to decide, but I shan't stay long in this place, not with the brooding city over me. Nay, I shall move on to new lands, new profession. Keep you in my prayers, goodbye. Hey, there's this place called Crystarium. They say kindness is its own reward, but Tristol has repaid us with a gift as timely as one unexpected. We will, however, need to act upon his advice before another painter steps to fill the vacancy. Thankfully, I do have some modest skill with the brush. Nothing approaching that of a true artist, of course, but enough to play the role, I would hope. As for you, you should take the subordinate role. Sure. Then it is settled. All we need now is to return to Gate Town and await the next appearance of the vile jesters. Also known as chillin' with the boys. There we go. Yep. If you would be so kind, Prince Rax, to fly us to Gate Town. Let's see, how do I... Can I put pings or markers on the map in this game? I've, never had to actually do that before. You can do that in WoW, you can do that in Guild Wars. Actually, you can do it with an add-on, sorry. You can do it in Guild Wars. You can do it in Divinity Original Sin. Apparently I can. There you go. I can put a flag down. Can you see that? What do you know? How do I get out of this thing? Help! Help! Okay, there we go. I'm free! Free! Oh, we're back out of the car. Here they come.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention once more. What a day it's been for the folks at our door.
We've welcomed a peddler who made pearls from a plum, and now we've made a place for a painter a plum. Yeah, okay, so I can totally paint. I can paint. Portraits, at least. Landscapes and still lifes are so rarely commissioned these days. So it doesn't actually show on your map? That's weird. I thought I spied some new faces in the crowd. What fortune you should feel at ease around an easel. What proof do you have of your personage? Sadly, I sold every painting I made, such as the work in honors. I've only my brush to testify to me. Oh, I already saw that, Hazardous. But thank you for sharing. Flecks of plaint, old and new, a tool much loved and much used. Okay, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Let's go. Well-wisher or parasite? Well, this is my assistant. He whose unfailing support allows my art to flourish. I go with him or not at all. Parasite, then. Ho, ho, ho! We shall leave his fate in the hand of your new employer. And having filled our latest vacant space, we retire to Yulmar's sweet embrace. Oh, mercy me, the meal. We almost took our leave without leaving a single token. We must empty the sacks ere we make our way back. Have some delicious meal.
Just think of the savorous, succulent flavor of it.
Oh god, I already hate it.
Redemption is beyond us.
Oh, that color choice.
The lament of all but saints and fools, and the comfort of the lords and ladies of this accursed place. Once they held fast against the madness, only to embrace the coming cataclysm and delight in the end of days. Perhaps in rapture they seek to lose themselves and the misery they share.
Hi, Darth Tyron.
Or perhaps for them alone, the promise of eternal pleasure really does hold true.
Ah, I should have gone with my hobo clothes. Hey, card thrower. Don't you dare sub. Don't do it, card thrower. Hang on. Where's... There we go. There we go. Now I look the part. Alright. Oh, I can't... Damn it! Okay, hang on. Welcome, welcome to the City of Pleasure. Feel free to weep at its magnificence. No? Not even a single tear? No. Moving right along, then. No, Valvedrix, no. See you around, Valvedrix. And thank you again for your help. Our first task is to register you as residents. You know, make it all nice and official. We'll smooth the way, so you just put on your happy faces and head to the joyous hall. The Bureau of Immigration is the first room on the left side of the passage. Declare your name and occupation in a nice loud voice. The clerk will tell you to go over there. Oh, pay no mind to those folks at the side of the road. Much like the hopefuls in Gatetown, they haven't earned the right to enter city proper. If, however, you enjoy basking in the envy of your fellow men, then by all means, take your time. But why waste another moment? Go, enjoy the beginning of your new life in paradise. Okay, I've always had a special hatred of the decadent elite concept and trope. But, we've got that in addition to the garish, just gaudy, awful look of the place. And I'm just like, ugh. I feel like I'm going to need a shower after this place. Yeah, this place probably should get an orbital bombardment. I think I agree. Can we get the ISD hammer in orbit here? hate doesn't dislike the character. The trope is fine, as horrible as that sounds. Now, Huthor, oh, he is fully in favor of the wealthy elite lording it over the others, decadently lording it over others. It's kind of his thing, really. I don't blame him for that. You know, that's him. You know, he does him. Do I find it unrealistic? I have seen elitism in school children. I have seen elitism in office workers. I have seen elitism in fast food restaurants. I have seen elitism amongst residentials within a neighborhood. It is a near constant aspect of human condition. As I myself, forgive me for quoting myself, but if we were down to two guys in a cave, one of them would point out how the rocks on his side are much better than the rocks on the other side of the cave. I will have to try it and let you know how it works, period. Thank you in advance, period. I have my own elitisms, I'll admit it. Tanking and WoW. I'll own up to that one. I get really elitist about that one. And, that might actually be it at this point in my life. I've been trying for a huge portion of my life to grind that idea out of my mentality. Anyways, the Bureau of Immigration. Like Fringe Philosopher. Fringe Philosopher needs to go to the Bureau of Immigration, clearly. Now, I want to rewind really quick. So, Sonic Doctor was asking, how powerful are we? Well, I'm pretty sure we're powerful enough to break into this place. Call me crazy. I know. The reason he doesn't want to is he doesn't know what's going on in here. Yeah, we could probably actually destroy this city. It would probably take a bit, but we could do it. We could crush this place. Anyways, before I get back to Hari, I did want to say thank you very much, Fringe Philosopher. Thank you for the sub. Much appreciated. And if you have a future stream you'd like to show interest in, that you want to put that towards, just let me know. Thank you, good Senator. I try. I do fail, but I try. Well, there's a panda there. I see a panda there. But the best pet of all is right there. So anyways, alright. Decadence is admittedly a little bit different. Basically, while this is a debatable topic, I would say that decadence is the more extreme variant of elitism. Now, that is not entirely true, and even I'll admit that, because decadence is connected to another thing, and that would be comfort, creature comfort. So, for example, you wanting to have a comfortable bed, that's not decadent. You wanting to have a nice chair to work at, that's not decadent. You wanting to have gold-topped pizza, that's probably getting into decadent territory. You wanting to make sure that at every single moment you feel nothing but good things, that is definitely decadent. So, like I said, as with many things, there's a bit of a gradient there. Well, I could see arguments for the gold-topped pizza thing to not be decadent. I can. And even if it is, to be perfectly blunt, on the low end of the scale. There is so much worse in real life than gold-topped pizza. By the way, if you think I'm making that up, look it up. There's a place in New York that serves gold-topped pizza along with, like, God, I don't remember what else. It's got a whole bunch of crap on it. It sounds terrible to me, ignoring the gold flakes. Yeah, I think it's like 200-something, 300-something a slice. It's not that expensive as bizarre as that sounds. You got it, French philosopher. Funnily enough, I am hopeful, probably not tonight, I probably won't have time tonight, but I'm hopeful to make some chili soon, which I intend to record, so that'll be cool. And a new video will be going live tomorrow. Welcome to Yulemore. Yeah, gold literally has no taste. You're right, Permius. Do you think that's bad? That gold pizza isn't actually all that expensive. Hang on, hang on. Gold hot chocolate. There it is. So, this is a restaurant called Serendipity 3. It's a restaurant on East 60th Street in New York City. They offer a $25,000 dessert. For perspective, it's about this big. 25 grand. It is cocoa, milk, frozen, so, you know, chocolate. But then they add whipped cream. Okay. And finally, 24 karat, 5 grams of 24 karat gold mixed in. Hang on, hang on. It also is served in a goblet, which you get to keep, which is surrounded with gold. Is another one? No, it isn't. Okay, sorry. And, sorry, getting back to the point, and the spoon it's served in is made of gold. And they have cocoa flown in from Switzerland. Oh, no, I'm wrong, actually. The cocoa is from around the world. The truffles are from France. The gold is from Switzerland. I don't actually know. I was actually going to say you could keep the spoon, but it doesn't actually say. So I don't know if you get to keep the spoon. Or the cup, for that matter. Oh no, oh no! Stab! Anyways, thank you, Card Thrower, for real. Thank you very, very much for both subs you just dropped. Much obliged, sir. Now, let me scroll up here a second. I thought so. You still didn't tell me what you want to put that towards, in either of those. But I am still thankful for the support, and thank you very much. Everyone stab him! Quick, get him stabbed. I mean, yeah, no, this is literally a waste of money. I am pretty sure, in fact, no, rewind. I am 100% sure that I could go to the grocery store right now, take my time, think about it, and make hot chocolate that is better than that. That tastes better, probably more nutritious, and a lot less expensive. Just from grocery store stuff. Yes, you can, Card Thrower. Although, I'm going to go ahead and say this right now. I am not putting that up on the list anytime soon, because the list is very full. So that's going to be like a many months out kind of a thing. If that's okay with you, then cool. If not, then, you know, then not cool. I actually don't know if I can get cocoa oil in the grocery store. I can get cocoa. In fact, I get various qualities of cocoa here. I mean, for $25,000, I could do quite a bit. I could probably live for 2 years off of that without even trying. Well, that's not true. 1 year without trying. 2 years with a little bit of squeezing. Okay, so we're going to put this down here. I'm not actually going to add it to the website yet, Card Thrower. Because, frankly, the website's way too crammed as is. But, I will have it in my documents. Yeah, $25,000. I don't know what that is in pounds, but it's a lot of freaking money. That's just nuts. I could go wild at the grocery store with that. I don't think I would be capable of spending that much on food without it literally going to waste. Anyways, I'm getting way off topic. I am Alphino, an artist. This is Lore, my assistant. Ah, yes, I was informed of your imminent arrival. We can forego the usual interview and begin processing your registration papers. Now, the citizens of Illimore just divided into two classes. There are free, who are blessed with the favor of Lord Vothry, and bonded, who work with the employ of the free. You will be joining the ranks of the bonded. Your duties are to serve a patron in capacity for which you were chosen. In your case, painting pretty pictures. Should your patron dismiss you for any reason, you must find another sponsor amongst the free or accept work as a general laborer. I see. Might you tell us something of the patron we are to serve? Two patrons, actually. Chainuz and Dulai Chai, a Mistel couple who refer to them as the Chais. They're both gentle souls. I would ask you conduct yourselves with respect and humility, for your own sake as much as theirs. Well, I see that you're subbed, Chunyi, so entirely possible. So in that case, thank you very much, Chunyi. As always and as ever. Appreciate the support. And you know the question. Now a moment, please, while I check the relevant paperwork. I just call it meal. Might as well just spell it meal. On an order. There you are. Yeah, it's not meal or whatever. It's meal. Take the papers next door, submit them to the clerk. Once they've been stamped, you'll be officially Ulmoran citizens. Enjoy your knife in paradise. Welcome to the Bureau. I love how Rex is just slapping the guy. Welcome to the Bureau of Registration. Papers, please. Oh god, flashbacks. Honestly, Nightforger, I'm in favor of just total annihilation, so just a Death Star would be fine. Get an ISD in orbit. I mean, this would literally take seconds of bombardment to wipe this place out. Alphino, artist, lore, artist assistants to be employed in the service of Lord Chainuz and Lady Dulia Chai. Yes, everything seems to be in order. Your registration is approved. I think it's best we deliver it to the Chai residence before... Oh dear. You smell hideous. I do not. Did you crawl through here through a ditch? It's like an unholy miasma of dust and sweat and the musk of some unwashed beast. Excuse me? Neutron wash? Oh my god. Proceed directly to the Delousery. And after you've rinsed away that stench, you'll want to splash yourself with this perfume liberally. Once you've made yourself presentable, then you may proceed to the Chai residence. Kone, the gods by the stairs, will give you directions. Oh, come on. Leviathan attacks totally count. I hadn't realized we were so aromatic. Oh, Jesus Christ. Nope, I do not smell bad. But then again, I take care of myself. See, I don't know about you, Permeus, but I always like to think of the professional Imperial military, you know, the one we basically never get to see. So, you remember in the Thrawn trilogy, Pelaeon actually makes a comment that they will destroy the town without scraping this, without so much as singeing the grass on Mount whatever. Like, that's what I've always thought of. Like, imagine the kind of precision you could pull off, at least theoretically, with those kind of ships. They do it on Star Trek all the time. So I like to think that we could precision obliterate this place without even touching Gate Town. Like, for example, Nightforger's idea is certainly valid, but Centauri mass drivers, that's going to basically obliterate the planet at that point. Or at least make it unlivable for a very long time. Ah, well that is possible, Permeus. I obviously wouldn't know. Pelaeon, Captain Pelaeon. I know that's not how they said it in Star Wars Rebels. I don't remember how they said it. They said it once in Star Wars Rebels, and I remember it just completely threw me, because the way that I'd never heard the way they pronounced it before. Oh, there it is. Perfume. I smell nice. Tee hee hee. It seems rather exposed for one's ablutions, does it not? Hurry up and shower, Stinky. No. Alice would have been drying her hair by now. Oh, wouldn't she just? Very well, I shall endeavor to emulate her boldness then. Courage, Alphino. But yeah, me and my friends have all been saying Palaean since the Thrawn Trilogy era, Harriet. I've gotten very accustomed to it. I've actually heard people in conventions call him Palaean as well, so it sort of stuck with me. Alphino, you're not supposed to break the bottle over your head. Love you, buddy. I'm pretty sure the Imperium of Man would crush the Daleks like a bug. I know I say that a lot, so please forgive me, but do understand, I mean this with total sincerity. The Imperium of Man would roll over the Daleks. You're looking to present yourself to the Chais, are you? Let me explain how the city's laid out. 3 layers. This layer is the buttress, then there's the understory, which is the military. They've got a military. Above that you've got the canopy, which is where the free citizens spend their days. So if you want to find your new patrons, you'll need to keep climbing. Looking for the Grand Dame's Pala. That's an interesting question, Harriet. I've actually been debating that one, because on the one hand, many people involved are probably petty enough to try and do something about that. On the other hand, the only one who is petty enough and still in power enough to actually do something about that is Palpatine, who really has other things on his mind. On the other hand, Palpatine in the EU never held back in getting revenge on someone if someone slighted him. Like, look at what happened to Dash Rendar's family, for example. So what probably should have happened is Palpatine probably should have given the order to just screw Lothal, you know, base Delta Zero the place, and then walked away from it and never thought about it again. Whether that actually happened or not, you know, that could be a story, but that's what I imagine would have come to be. What am I doing? I'm going this way. Dash Rendar, Captain Zeus. Someone who totally doesn't exist anymore. Even though he does, but he doesn't. So yes, fat people finally exist in FF14.
Who's this, then?
Oh my god. That's... Why can't we play as that?
Lord and Lady Chai, pray forgive our intrusion. I am given to understand you were in search of an artist.
Ah, you must be the new,
Oh, goodness me. What an adorable boy.
Yeah, I can kind of see it. She's got kind of the animation set of a Lalafell.
That silken hair, those pearly cheeks, oh, and you even smell wonderful, like a bed of flowers. I approve of this one, dearest. I am positive he will paint us the most delightful pictures.
Yes. Well, as long as he paints better than that talentless wretch we sent packing last week.
Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome to Yulmore.
Alphino, if it please you, my lady. And this is my assistant.
Call me your death. Your what? Stab! Can I get some Frostmournes in chat for this lady?
Your assistant? I've heard of folk bringing in family members, but this seems a bit irregular. Aren't you a little young to have a protege?
We are family in all but name, my lord. Though we share no blood, we have stood by each other through life's many challenges, resolved to prevail together or not at all. Of all people, 'tis he who best understands my work. With his unique insight guiding my hand, the art I create is sure to satisfy your expectations. Once the picture has begun, of course, I shall have no need of constant encouragement. And so I wondered, rather than him being in your way, might it then be permissible for my assistant to explore the city he has so longed to see? Out of gratitude for his priceless contribution to my art, I thought it only fair that I make this humble request on his behalf.
Did you ever hear of such devotion? Of course your assistant must have his wish. He shall be free to roam to his heart's content. Isn't that right, darling?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course, dearest. Quite right.
As much as I hate to point this out, Permius, it was actually Vothri who tossed him out, not these two. These two fired him, and as we've already heard, you actually have a number of options once you are fired. Oh, here we go. Here's one. Oh, that's totally Lalafell. Look how they walk. They should totally make that a Lalafell mutator that you can get, like a sub-race or whatever. Now that you have opportunity to experience Yulmore, I suggest you make the most of it. Start with the canopy and go blah 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 blah. I would appreciate, of course, if you share any discoveries with me in turn. Right, so that's where you get your food from, right? Right? No? Okay. Look, I just really want to know where they get their food from, which, by the way, includes fruit. That's a pet now? I know... Okay. I always wanted a square character other than Cloud in Smash. I guess it's fair that we get a Smash character in a square game. Oh, it's just lovely to make your acquaintance. Ahem. Speaking of acquaintances, you wouldn't happen to have run to my attendant. Big, strong hair, long hair, tied back. He was escorting me on a shopping errand when I realized I dropped my handkerchief, and now I've been here all along while he's been searching for it. I'm not terribly fond of being alone. If you do see him, I'd be obliged if you could pass on the message. Forget the handkerchief. Return to my side at once. Or die in horrible, terrible, nightmarish agony. That's a hell of a drop. Oh, I should probably help him up. White, that was too close. I've been dangling there for hours. Thank you, friend. I don't know what I want. How did you... I was trying to rescue my lady's handkerchief, you see. The wind must have blown her over the edge, but luckily it caught on something. I thought if I could just stretch out far enough. You must think very highly of your mistress. It's not just a scrap of cloth. It belongs to her. I would risk life and more to spare my mistress but a single moment of sadness. When I first came to Yulmore, I thought only of improving my lot in life. But there was so much more to this city than wealth and plenty. There's no war, no conflict. The residents all treat each other with warmth and respect. My mistress has been ever so kind to me, my beloved. And I can think of no other place in Clusia where I could possibly be happier. Okay, so they got drugs in the air and water. What's a drug that would just make you feel happy, like an upper or whatever? Sorry, might have gotten a bit carried away. Find it hard to stop when I'm counting my blessings these days. Please, you should come with me to meet my lady. Laughing gas. There you go. There's just laughing gas being poured in everywhere. In fact, the longer I'm here, the funnier it gets. Can I not bound to this? Seriously? Special permission is required to use it. Why can't I just do it? Who's gonna stop me? Oh god, it's the perfume. I knew it! Laughing gas perfume. My goodness. My attendant told me everything. I'm so very grateful you were there to offer assistance. You seem very dedicated. What's my attitude is... Oh, my attitude is not unusual. I assure you, with the efforts of our bonded residents, we free citizens would... without the efforts of our bonded citizens... Oh my god. Without the efforts of our bonded residents, we free citizens would not enjoy the pleasures of our daily lives. They are deserving our unending gratitude. Mayhap in another society our different standing would breed prejudice or resentment, but in Yulmore, in most glorious measure is it placed to revert such unpleasantness. Part of that measure requires that the free surrender their fortunes. Upon registration, all property, financial, intellectual, or otherwise, is given over to the city. In exchange, we are provided with ample funds and commodities to live a life of pampered luxury. What is going on over there? Being liberated from the concern of earning coin has an almost miraculous effect on people. There is no rivals to compete, only fellow residents with them to enjoy tranquil existence. Now, if you'll excuse us, I must see what markets have to offer as a reward for the return of my handkerchief. Oh, and I've not forgotten you, of course, our courageous messenger-turned-rescuer. Yeah, no, I caught that, Permius. The rich are literally as poor as the servants. That is fascinating. And I don't mean that as a joke. That is interesting. All this talk of relying on the bonded, I haven't given thought to what your duties might be. Hope you haven't interrupted your work unduly. Yeah, no, I've already seen Fatso. Mr. Owser from FF6. A tour of the city, and you must visit the Beehive. Anyways, the lady by the name of Tista B, usually Tista B, really, has taken her seat near the entrance. She will gladly speak with you on any number of topics, including, assuming you find yourself on her good side. Have to get away from Miss Casty Face over there. Jesus, go away. Ah. Okay, we're safe, we're safe. What in the world? I am not dressing in that. Or that. What the hell is she wearing? There's like a single strand of cloth only on the left side. That is so weird. Does he have something like that? Nope. Weird. Right. Oh yeah, by the way, just in case anybody thinks I missed it, fat cat joke. Welcome to the Beehive, my little drone, seeking the sting of an excitement? No. I can tell at a glance when folk are new to our happy colony. It's the nervous fluttering, you see. Always gives them away. Why don't we simply play some cards? Quick game of high or low. Sure. But wait! I must dress appropriately for the scene. There we go. I am now ready to kill all of you. Three cards for you, 3 cards for me. You flipped 1, I flipped 2. Really? You wanted to play this for this? Low. Oh, wow. That was very low, statistically speaking. Well, let's keep playing, because I gotta win, apparently. Like, I actually thought about the math on that one. Let's see. Wait. God dang it. Never mind. I was testing a theory. I didn't even think about the math on that one. I was just weirded out because the odds on her total was exactly the same as the previous one. It's true, I could ban people. Okay. You know what? Hang on. I could actually math this out. Or, I could flip a coin. Coin says low. That's a no. Alright, this is it, guys. This is the rest of the stream right here. One more win. Oh, really? Okay, fine. Oh, at least it saves my progress. Here's my win. Take out my sword, stab her through the chest. There we go. And then one down through the skull. We're good. I win. What do I get? Why doesn't she say anything? All right, I need to animate her after killing her. Keep forgetting. So, coin says high. I would usually go with low on that one. And that's why. Thanks, coin. Oh my god. This is a main story quest, right? This is Lou. There we go. Listen, we need more RNG, damn it. Come whisper in your ear? No. That's all? How delightfully wholesome. But if knowledge is what you want, then it's what you shall have. What were you expecting me to say? Don't answer that question. In my humble estimation, the most wondrous thing about this town is how safe we are from the Sin Eaters. They say Lord Vathryu was born with the power to command them, which means no Yulmoran ever needs waged weapon in defense of the city, which is why we have an entire military district. Was that what you wish to know? If your itch still needs scratching, you might get a few words out of Atharn over there. There's not that Mary Sot likes more than the sound of his own voice. What's that? New to Elmar, you say? Only just arrived. You're only looking to peel away the layers of mystery. Oh, I'm all for chatting, but you need to just slow down. Life is to be savored. Tell you what, you hop up on stage and give us a dance. This is main story. This is unavoidable, mandatory to complete the game stuff. I just want to make that very clear. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to zoom the camera way out, then kind of do this so you can't really see what's going on. There we go. Oh, I need to be on the mark on the stage. Damn it, where's the mark? Where's the mark? Oh, there it is. I see it. I see it. I gotta be honest, these lights are messing with me. Okay, now to hide the camera. Oh, that's much better. I am totally dancing. And we're done. You don't ask, Larian. It's fine. It's fine. I'm not giving it a negative, even though I want to. That was a show. You're welcome to clamber up on my stage. Oh, he doesn't say my stage. On stage anytime you like. So what else do you want to ask me? Ah, yeah, something about our fair city. Well, it wasn't as peaceful as today. The Ilmoran army may be the very essence of military might. But even our forces saw grievous losses in the war against the Sin Eaters. Things changed for us around 20 years ago when the old ruler's son came to power. He's got this way with eaters, you see. He turns them docile as house cats. I wouldn't be exaggerating to say they've become something of an ally to Yulmore, no longer an enemy to be feared. And yet, elsewhere, there are still fools who insist on fighting their losing battles. Pah! A toast to Lord Vothri! Run! Run! What is that? No, whatever. Oh, looks like I need to switch. I mean, Arax does have a valid point, and that is absolutely why I wouldn't actually seriously consider giving any negatives for this. This makes perfect sense, and the game is going out of its way to build within the player and layer upon layer upon layer of how messed up this situation is. Yes, Hariant, of course it does. Of course it does. There we go. Gotta say it as creepily as possible. Boop. Oh, you've come from your jaunt around the city so soon. You needn't have hurried back. Young Alphinaud has yet to put brush to canvas. One cannot rush good art, I'm told. Or good artists, apparently. Ah, finally. Hey, look. It's an outfit I recognize. Where were you keeping that? I've put together an ensemble out of the garments you chose. Is this satisfactory? Oh, goodness gracious me, that last outfit was precious, but this makes you look positively dashing. You are truly a handsome boy. However am I to decide? I don't recall this part of the artistic process. Exactly. The lad is an artist here. It's not a dress-up doll. It's about time we set him to work for the real reason we called him here. Must we? I do love a good painting, but I thought we were enjoying ourselves so thoroughly. Well, that is to say, as long as you... make sure you give the lad time to prepare. Who knows who will be upset if he's not ready to paint at a moment's notice. Whatever you say, darling. Ooh, shall we pick out some jewelry next? Yeah, that's totally the Lalafell. If it wasn't obvious before, that is completely giving it away. Although, unlike half the world, I don't have a thing against Lalafels, so I'm down. Ding. You got nothing, because this is a dead level. Dead levels suck. Moving on. Lady Chai has a particular sense of beauty, and apparently that extends to how I should dress while painting. But this obsession of hers works in our favor. The time I spend indulging in these distractions is time you can use to continue your explorations. For this excursion, check out the military corner. Well, you can tell this is the military district. Look at it. And it's totally not Limsa Lamensa. I don't like the Chais, although I've only started seeing them like 5 minutes ago, so make of that what you will. You're one of the bonded, aren't you? Like me. Please, I need your help. My throat. I can't sing anymore. I've been making excuses, but it's not getting any better. If my patron thinks I'm no use to him, I need you to sneak out to the derelict and describe my condition to Thorich. I have a list of symptoms and a hunk of meal to pay for his medicines. Ew, first of all. But second of all, you got it. Let's do this. Now, isn't that out here? It is, but of course I don't have that. I mean, why would I? What the? Oh, that's just Rax's legs being smashed into pieces. Listen, Tataru is a national treasure, okay? We all know this to be true. Nope. Wow, Rax. Well, good luck on hitting it. Unless you already have, in which case, don't mind me. She was the best old lady. Nice. Hang on, did I get this one? I did. Okay, just making sure. I'm not sorry, Omega Legion. He did have to go his separate ways. A FOD day? Okay. So how many of you like Final Fantasy VII? Favorite Scion? Oh hey, a Skywatcher. A wise woman once said, "She who does not pay attention to the skies will surely get wet." Sure, what do we got here? The weather. Have you not seen the sky? Today, tomorrow, and every day henceforth will be plagued with everlasting light. Which is apparently the literal weather type. That's hysterical. Why do weather people exist? And the weather today, it's the people who are really, really lazy. They're the weather people. And the weather tomorrow, more endless sky. One of the things I find strange is that FF7 is the most popular FF. Whether it's the best or the worst or in between doesn't matter. It is, without question, the most popular FF, by quite a margin, actually. Now, having stated that, it's interesting to think that they have done relatively few FF7 things in this game. Oh, there's been a couple of things. You know, there's the cloud suit from Advent Children. There's a couple of bosses that are references. You know, the Scorpion Tails or Scorpion Mech, whatever. God, I can't even think of the name of the damn thing. But it's really very light, especially compared to, say, FF6 or FF3. Then again, FF4 doesn't get a lot of references either. But anyways, the reason I actually bring that up, though, is I'd just like to say, how many FF7 things do you think are going to show up right around March of next year, give or take? You need medicines, tonics, potions? Yeah, I need this and this. No medicine will cure this. Your songbird has a lump in her throat. It must be cut out. And even then, the voice may never heal completely. Poor little songbird. Will they kick her from the nest? Or will they silence her chirps? Oh, your face. Didn't you know? Of the many hopefuls who enter the city, very few are seen to leave, even as corpses. Oh, you might see one or two fortunate fools hurled from the balconies, but the rest, gone. A town of nightmares it is, not for this ship's rat. No, no, I'm content to scurry around down here and nibble on the crumbs which fall from the table. More or less, literally. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they add a Sephiroth outfit. That's true, Arax. It probably won't be, unless they are really going faster with expansions than they have been. Oh, I'd have to think about that one, Omega Legion. Now, that being stated, I did have a thought related to that. So, some of you may or may not be aware, there was a gameplay demo at Gamescom this week for Final Fantasy VII-R. And they actually showcased a bit of it, and there's some leaked footage, which I'm not going to cover in full for fear of blah blah blah. But I did want to talk about it in brief. I don't know which of these is what, so we're just going to pick one randomly. That was not the spot. One of the things that I found interesting about it, though, is that they showed off the Scorpion boss fight at the beginning of Reactor 7. And that boss fight was roughly, like, it was 7 minutes and 48 seconds or something like that. I actually timed it, but I don't have it written down right now in front of me, because I'm a dummy. So in other words, it is a pretty long boss fight, relatively speaking. I started thinking about that, because my first thought was, bleh, that sounds terrible. But then I got to thinking, assuming they average out, assuming they have one boss in FF7-R for each boss in FF7, that would mean there would be 9 total bosses in all of FF7-R Part 1. Which is actually a pretty small number for an entire game. So it becomes a little bit more tolerable under those circumstances if each boss fight is filled with stuff to do. That's kind of important. Because even if it only happens infrequently, you know, 8-minute boss fights are really, really boring if you're not actually doing anything interesting. Yeah, I got your medicine. It's my knife, more or less literally. So what do you do if you can't sing? Oh, here we go. There you are, my sweet canary. Have you been crying again? Don't tell me your voice is still not on the mend. Oh, generous sir, have mercy. I've done all I can, but even the apothecary said... Explain, explain, explain. So you've been suffering all this time. I'm sorry, pet. I hadn't realized your affliction was this grave, but you needn't fret. I'll not reward your hours of trilling by casting you into the street. You're too kind, sir, but what if I cannot sing? I fear the day I am more burden to you than treasure. Then I shall have a word with Lord of Authry and arrange for your ascension. Oh my god. In that paradise where resides neither pain nor illness, will your song ring out clearly once again? Or mayhap you think I take it a step too far? You would do that for me? Of course, why I would almost wish to hasten my own ascension, knowing your blessed instrument is waiting there to greet me. That sounds horrible. You must be the new arrival. Allow me to explain. We have this process called carousel. Please, someone get the reference. Anybody, other than Eric. I hope they're optional, Harian. As we all know, the Sin Eaters exist to devour the sinful, but they also serve to gather souls of the innocent and shepherd them into its celestial paradise. It is through Lord Vothri we learned of this truth. It is through Lord Vothri's grace that the free people of Yolmor are destined to embrace salvation. We are blessed to spend our days surrounded by love and merriment until at last we call to our final rapture. Even the bonded may find a place within the host, should their patrons deem them worthy. Lord Vothri is truly a great man. Please tell me to kill him. You don't have to actually tell me. Now, if you'll excuse us, we must be on our way. May you find eternal salvation for the compassion you've shown my precious canary. Enjoy your ascension, ma'am. Yep, that's a go for base Delta Zero. I repeat, that is a go for base Delta Zero. Doesn't that mean you'll destroy the whole planet? It's worth it! Do it! Why are people in cages, by the way? You know what? Don't answer that. Yes, just slam that Exterminatus button. But you're on the planet. You're new, aren't you? You know what? I'll take that risk, Larian. I accept. Fade. What am I doing? Here, I think? No. Nope, that's not it. This is very not it. Oh, this might work. Whatever it takes to destroy them all is a worthy sacrifice. You know, we could just evacuate the planet. Sorry, here, we got our own planet. There's no blackjack there, though, sorry. Although we do have the golden saucer. Yeah, I did, Permeus. I thought it was people. It was one of the more obvious possibilities. That's actually a pretty good, well, drawing. Yay! That's like 3 people who got the Logan's Run reference. Just good to see you back. You were taking so long I began to worry something had happened. Wait, what are you linking me here? Destroy the world worse. I've been sketching an outline for the portrait, but the Chais appear otherwise occupied. Would you share our investigations? Yeah, sure. This place is hell. So Lord Vothri boasts some manner of influence over the Sin Eaters. That explains the reverence with which he's held. As for this ascension business... Oh my god, really, Eric, really? I cannot help but being put in the mind of that apothecary and his ominous remarks. If so many folks have entered the city over the years, and where do they go? Look, this is either a mass grave scenario, which would be it at its least horrible, or this is much worse than that. Oh, I hate soccer. I'm not going to finish that joke. I take my eyes off you one moment, you're chatting away with your assistant. I assume the outline is done then. Okay, why is this guy such an ass? Blazes? What? It's so unflattering. I want to rip your head off. What's your artistic interpretation? It should evoke images of affluence and nobility and overwhelm the viewer with its boundless beauty. Dude, if you want a PR piece, say you want a PR piece. God. You wanted this portrait to commemorate your anniversary, a joyous reunion. Realistic? I don't want realism, I want perfection. A spectacle to slacken jaws and weaken knees, to make people cry out in amazement. Now, fetch a blank canvas and... I say. Jesus. The mere fact that this is a song they picked for this area is really all that needs to be said, by itself. Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please. A tale to make you quiver and your noble blood freeze. There was a villain loose on the city, set to ruin our fair city. But our lord has got him now, and his fate will not be pretty. The hammer of justice is poised to come crashing down, and one and all who'd watch it fall are invited to join his lordship in the offer. So out of curiosity, Larian, obviously I'm mostly joking, I don't want to destroy the planet. But I am actually curious what you would try to do in this situation. I'm leaning on the evacuation side of things myself. Maybe a little bit of scalpel cleaning. This man's to face sentencing. That's right. In fact, if you're curious, it might be worth going on for the experience. The offer they mention is part of the Emergent, the level above us where Lord Vothri resides. Ordinarily, you'd be barred from entering, but it seems they'll be opening doors for the next while, and the crown will take you up. Better not dawdle. Okay, then. And no killing, Larian? I just don't understand Larian these days. Although, in fairness, so far, really, I've only seen one scene. I have presumed one person is worthy of killing. I don't even know if that's absolutely true yet. And that's him, right there.
That's him. That's Vothri.
How are your lungs capable of providing oxygen to your body? How are you not literally suffocating under your own girth? Oh, that explains why he has so little clothing on.
Attended by sin-eaters. But how does he keep them from attacking?
Also, very creepy. Them, not him.
Mercy! Mercy!
By the 12. Kaishia, what happened to you?
Who are these impudent louts? I do not recall requesting their presence.
Lord Vothri, what is the meaning of this? Why is this poor man bleeding to death on your floor?
Alright, Alphino, we talked about this. You're the talker, not the outrager. That's my job.
Why? You ask me why? Because criminals must be punished, and this man is guilty of fraud.
Also, as a quick aside, I want you to pay attention to the panning shots. There's a lot of just bottles of booze just lying everywhere, strewn about.
He came to us, claiming to be a man of business. Yet his subsequent conduct has shown him to be anything but. Yulm is a city built on love for one's fellow man. Those who have naught to give and live only to take are a blight upon our society! To atone for this crime, I ordered that he fling himself from the balcony.
Oh my god, his neck. Oh my god.
And he had the temerity to weep. Please, my lord, anything but that. What then is a man of mercy to do? But offer the sinner another way to show his contrition.
Another way? Meaning what exactly?
Sin-eaters are part of Yulmor's society, but they must be fed with ether. Living ether. So, I demanded an offering of flesh, carved by his own hand, from his own hide. And still, he could not do as I asked.
Okay. This is like the weirdest thing to bring up, but how is he capable of moving so swiftly under his physical limitations?
A wholly unsatisfactory performance.
'Tis true that Kaishir won his place here by fraud, but his actions were driven only by a desire to share in your paradise. That you would cast him out I could almost accept, but to humiliate him thus, to demand his very life? Is this truly the way of Yulmor?
Oh, you dim, deluded child. Have you ever paused to consider what it takes to maintain such a paradise in this barren, broken world of ours?
Actually, I have, quite a bit.
The guarantee of safety and stability. The knowledge that if one only abides by the rules, one has naught to fear. I alone can offer these things, for I alone can command the Sin-Eaters. And thus am I alone the voice of justice, and any who oppose me, villains to be punished.
That is an interesting point. I know this is going to sound really horrible, but he's kind of right. No, hear me out. I'm not sympathizing with the guy. I'm going to kill the crap out of him later. But if you have a state of such power that society is more or less dependent universally and unilaterally on you, then you are now the new basis. You're the new bedrock for things like law and society. Because society doesn't exist without you. Now, Rax does have a very valid point. People could go to the Crystarium. The fact that they don't is actually kind of, I think, indicative. And once again, probably why this whole city probably deserves to be destroyed. I mean, look at this. They're applauding him. I'm apparently upset about this. Oh, come on, let me kill him, Alphino.
Call this paradise.
Let me kill him. When do I kill him? What level?
You were granted a place in my city for a particular skill.
Oh, sorry. Click too quickly. He's...
An artiste! Then you shall paint a picture for me of Yulmor. If I find your art pleasing, then I may excuse this display of insolence.
That's right. He's a scholar. And I'm an astrologian.
Who gave you permission to tend to that criminal's wounds? I told you to paint me a picture!
What you need is a mirror, not a painting. It will capture the horror I see before me far better than I ever could. Can you walk?
I think so.
I do like Vothri's actor, by the way. He has a really unique blend of tones to him.
Did that little worm just insult me? I'll kill them! I'll kill them all! I'll enslave their minds! I'll torment them! Torture them! Then tear out their hearts!
Look at that. Look at that. Wow. Dude, I've seen a so-called emperor who was turned into a llama, who is more of a man than you are, buddy. So, we're out. Forgive me. In my anger, I seem to have marched us back outside again, though it's probably best we leave altogether. I think we've worn out our welcome. In any case, I've seen enough of the world's self-proclaimed capital city to convince me that our battle against the Sin-Eaters will find new allies in Kalusia. I will accompany you back to the Crystarium. We need to regroup and think on our strategy, you know. As the light slowly shades on us. I have done you a great disservice. You are hungry and desperate, and I offered you a solution without once considering the risks inherent in you accepting it. Okay, this isn't me making fun, but Alphino does this all the time. It's probably one of his biggest character flaws. I'll help you. No thought to consequences. That goes back to ARR. ARR, for God's sakes. You gave me everything I needed to make your idea work. It was me who made a mess of things, not you. But even after all the trouble, you still stepped in and saved me. Now Lord Vothri wants us all dead. Along with Mystery Person. Why not come back to the Crystarium, where you can work? No. That would just be me leaning on your kindness again. No! It... Okay, I'm cool. I'm calm. I'm cool. Seriously, this is a... Alright, kid. Conk right over the head. Over the shoulder. We're going back to the Crystarium. Let's go. We're literally offering him a job, not a handout. We're not offering him to lead... we're not offering to carry him. We are offering to help him get back up on his own 2 feet. Okay. It's your right to refuse. It's your right to refuse, you moron. When I come back and found out you're dead, because you've been turned into meal, whatever that is, I will try to feel bad for you. Oh, hey. What in blazes did you do? They have the entire city looking for you. I took a peek at your unfinished portrait. I've had many a beautiful and striking picture painted for me, but there was something about your work. It's as if you caught the very essence of our love and rendered it naked upon canvas. It was bold, unflinching, and I adored it. Please, you must come back with us and finish what you began. I will speak with Lord Vothri and vouch for your character. I'm sure we can smooth over hard feelings. I'll admit she's growing on me. I'll give you guys that. I am sorry, Lady Chai. There are far more important matters to which I must attend. More important? What could be more important than enjoying the days we have left to the fullest? Good question. Legitimately good question. As I said earlier, it's hard to blame people in a post-apocalypse who have no hope of things getting better when they just want to enjoy what they've got. I get that. I don't think it personally, because I'm too much of a defiant dick to be able to do that, but I do get that mentality. Correct, Dakota. As of right now, we don't even have the beginnings of a plan to fix this situation. We got nothing. Pray press me no further. We are leaving, but I would not presume to take the garments you were once so kind to procure for me. One moment. I wouldn't hear of it. Keep the clothes, you silly boy. I insist. We have to have you change clothing every expansion. Very well. I will return. I promise you that. The outrage I witnessed must not go unanswered. Next time we meet, I shall be better prepared to confront the corruption that hides behind the glittering facade. Also, Dahlia, there's this place called Crystarium. I'm kidding. Oh, hey, that note is still... How do I get rid of that? There we go, never mind. We're good. Where am I going? Way up there. I mean, yeah, 100 years is a long damn time. Like, imagine, if you will, that in 1919, and it's been that way ever since. I think I have no currently living relatives who were alive at that point in time, to give a little bit of perspective on that. My family lives a long time. Yep, I'm right. 96 is my oldest currently living resident. I had to think about that. Thank you, my friend, for staying at my side through this whole sordid endeavor. Whilst not quite the joyous outcome I had hoped for, our efforts have nevertheless answered a great many questions. Suffice to say, our plans for the saving the First are unlikely to involve the aid of Lord Vothry. We must speak to the Exarch. Then go forth to Urianjar. Also, can I just say, I know it's old, but I've always loved the crystal aesthetic, and I think they do a really good job of showcasing the Crystal Tower in this game. And for once, a century is just long enough without being too far, so credit where credit is due on that point. Like, it would be really easy to be like, 10,000 years ago. And instead they pick 100 years, which makes a lot of sense. And fits pretty well. Speaking of which, let's see. So, whoops, that's weird. It's not what I clicked. This is what I clicked. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. We might literally have to start, if we wanted people to start heading to the Crystarium, we might literally have to start escorting people there, in lore, at least. Defending people on the road, because holy crap. Oh, Yolmor, that's easy, Omega Legion. Granted, I've been hoping that Garlemald is better than we think several times. And in fact, I was actually pretty much on board with the Garlemald is actually not a horrible organization right up until Stormblood when they turned into cacklingly evil idiots, but... Anyways. Yeah, the one and only thing in Stormblood that was of the reasonable tint for Garlemald was what's-his-face. I can't think of his name. Glasses guy. He was actually kind of neat, but... Maxima, that's him. He was cool. I don't know if I count Gaius, because he's kind of a late arrival, and he also kind of bailed on Garlemald. It's hard to count that at that point. I suppose you could, though. I think we'll stick with that for now. Sorry. I'm debating positives and negatives. Obviously, music specific to the expansion would qualify for a positive or negative. I'm going to sit on that story negative potential, and I haven't seen anything really gameplay positive yet. But that's, as I said, and I think I made this very clear, I don't think there's going to be a lot of gameplay positives or negatives in this run, because so much of the gameplay is just the game, FF14, and so little of it is specific to the expansion. Yeah, exactly, Eric. There will probably be a couple of gameplay ups and downs, like literally 2 or 3, and that's probably all that's going to go. This is almost entirely going to be a story review. Which is funny, because some people have the mistaken impression that all I care about is story anyways, so... It's good to be back amongst friends, not to mention my dear sister. I've not seen her in some time, but I gather she's keen to press on as I am. And you've seen quite a lot of the first yourself now, more than enough to appreciate the scale of the obstacles we face. Let us lay our discoveries before the Exarch, and hopefully have a voice-acted cutscene. Story or gameplay, Rosalisa?
And so you return. Have you gained a better understanding of the crisis now faced by the First?
Better is not the word I would use. Some lands may have been spared the flood, but the survivors live only to suffer. There seems no end to the horrors inflicted by the Sin Eaters.
Indeed. Those abominations are a calamity in their own right. And I can well imagine how hopeless the task of eradicating them must seem to you. But after countless battles and untold sacrifice, we have identified a potential weakness. Sin Eaters are drawn to serve the strongest of their kind, a class of creature we call Light Wardens. And from what we have been able to ascertain, only a handful of these entities exist. Just as an ant colony will perish in the absence of its queen, we believe that the death of a Light Warden will cause the lesser creatures within its sphere of influence to disperse.
Question. And if they answer this in-game, feel free to say they answer this in-game. Do lesser Sin Eaters, minor, beast Sin Eaters, have the capacity to infect and infest? Because that's the impression I got during the Alice story arc. If so, his plot idea here is kind of invalid, because simply dispersing obviously distributing the problem of the lesser Sin Eaters will be will be better than a cohesive force, but they will still be a significant threat, especially since they can still spread.
I have a feeling Yulmul might have something to say about any concerted action we take against these monsters. Vorthra's command over the Sin Eaters is integral to Yulmoran society. In seeming to guarantee his people's safety, it guarantees their obedience. He will not take kindly to us depriving him of such useful allies.
Agreed. Thus we will need to occupy or otherwise divert his forces whilst we proceed with the business of eliminating the Wardens.
I mean, I'm getting the impression, and I don't mean an insult by this, that the Sin Eaters in general are your typical Darkspawn horde, you know? They're dangerous, but not really. They're only really a threat when there is a cohesive mind directing them. The Zerg would actually be another good example of this. Without the actual overmind and or influence of the Queens or Kerrigan or the Cerebrats or whatever, the Zerg are just a bunch of roaming animals. Certainly deadly, but not, you know, system-endingly deadly.
Until we have done so, all other considerations must be set aside if we are to forestall the 8th Umbral Calamity.
You think eliminating the Wardens will be sufficient?
Your uncertainty is understandable, given the circumstances. Perhaps a more detailed explanation is in order. To begin at the beginning, then. In the ancient past, a single star was divided into 14 worlds.
You know, don't we already know this?
This is the source, your home. These others are the 13 shards, in whose number we find the first. Though physically separate, they retain a connection to each other, and with the source especially. Now, let us assume that a given element in one of the shards attains abnormal ascendancy. Just as water will flow from the highest point to the lowest, the excess energy will begin trickling into the source.
Yeah, I'm totally getting some FF7 vibes here, in a good way.
And such an influx of ether will of course exert a palpable influence. If the element in question were fire, then drought and wildfires might ensue. If it were ice, one might expect the weather to turn bitterly cold. As ether continues to pour in, such phenomena will become more and more extreme, until eventually, a single, untimely event triggers a disaster which cracks the barrier dividing the two worlds. What was once a trickle now becomes a deluge, sweeping the shard along to be rejoined with the source. At the same time, the element which held sway in the shard is unleashed in full, its energies amplifying the original disaster to truly catastrophic proportions. An earthquake thus magnified might strike with enough force to shatter continents. A tidal wave might swell to a size capable of drowning entire nations. These devastating events are what we refer to as umbral calamities. 7 times has a calamity befallen the source. 7 times has a shard been absorbed.
I was about to say, are we down to 5? Or are we down from 20? Sorry, yeah, my math was off there. You know, I'll have to admit, this actually explains something that's bugged me about the lore of the game for a long time. How the hell did the Alogans lose? This would explain it, actually. This kind of devastation from a source they can't even predict would successfully kill them off.
At present, the light-drowned realm of the First stands perilously close to meeting the conditions for a rejoining.
In the off chance you don't get why I say that, everything we've seen about the Alogans is that they were stupidly advanced. Like, just absolutely ludicrous levels of magic and technology. And they lost.
Huh?
Anyways.
It is the Sin Eaters who are to blame for the Light's continued dominance. In addition to attracting their lesser kin, the Light Wardens I mentioned earlier radiate ether, saturating every corner of their territory with light. Even here in the flood-spared region of Norvrant, their influence is strong enough to banish night from the sky. Thus, if we are to restore balance to the First and head off a potential calamity, it is imperative that we put each and every Light Warden to the sword.
We've been doing our best to take the fight to the enemy ever since we first heard the Exarch's explanation.
But we didn't have our heavy, so now that you're here...
Though we have yet to claim any meaningful victories if truth be told. Apart from being confoundingly elusive, the Light Wardens possess a troublesome quality which compelled us to delay our plans until such time as you arrived.
Forgive the interruption, my lord, but Hallminster Switch is requesting reinforcements. They say the Sin Eaters are attacking in force, and the village could soon be overrun.
Alert the guard. We should be prepared in case the fighting reaches the Crystarium. You have command of our forces in the field, Captain, but hold off on entering the town until I arrive. That goes for Alphino and Alize as well.
My lord.
Pray, lend us your strength. Such a fight will provide you with far greater insight than any explanation I could offer.
I suppose I should do it with trust. I almost regret to. I mean, we need to show it off. We need to try it out. And there's story attached. It's almost a no-brainer. Hallminster Switch is north of Lakeland, so we'd best make haste with our preparations. In fact, meet me outside the Crystarium at the crossroads, northwest of the gate. I shall lead you there myself. Ooh. I actually need a moment, I'm sorry. This is going to sound so pathetic, but I'm so tired that my eyes are starting to have issues. So I need just a moment. Give me a bit. Okay. No, it's good, it's good. I got a second stream to do today anyways. Sadly, I don't think we do need a tank casual. I mean, if you guys want to do something, go for it. In fact, I need to leave group, don't I? Do I need to leave group? I suppose I should ask that before I do so. Let me out. The crystal thing there. There we go. I figured. Oh, wrong button, wrong button. Of preference. Ah, Violet Land. That's actually next week, Shadow Machine. Tonight's gonna be board games. Yeah, WoW's last two were like that too, Valvatrix. Such a pity. What? I miss the days of the servers wigging out in completely weird and wild ways. I do not, Permeus. No. This is what I got. All set. Goodbye. Pretend I'm Superman here. I mean, even Superman needs his sleep, right? Actually, whether or not he does depends on the continuity. In some continuities, he literally does not need sleep. He just needs exposure to the sun. God dang it, fine. Do you see why I complained about this, by the way? And I can't even give this a negative for it, because it's not an expansion feature, it's a game feature. God, it's Zira. How did you get up there? Explain yourself. I still like the nobody bow. Oh god, it's Rax too. They found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Speaking of features I like about this game, there's a little icon over my head right now because I'm in a cutscene. You can't see it, but they can. That's a cool feature. I like that. Holminster Switch is past these gates and through the woods. 'Tis not exactly a near neighborhood of the Crystarium, but we occupy the same region, and we have built up something of a cooperative relationship. They give us food, and we don't die. What can we expect? The town is beset by a swarm, unlike any we've seen in recent years. We did our best to evacuate villagers, but as many as half remain. Judging by the number of eaters present, we have good reason to believe a light warden leads the attack. How convenient. It seems we'll have our chance to slay a warden sooner than expected. One does not simply slay a warden. Has no one told you what happens if you defeat one of those fiends? They simply pass their body into the other creature. No, I'm kidding. They hold more light inside them than all their underlings put together. It can be struck down, but its essence won't dissipate like the weaker kind. Vile ether will billow outwards and envelop the nearest living being, a reckless young swordswoman perhaps, and turn her into a brand new warden. Oh my god, they are the Darkspawn! Also lol, Rax. Well, you can leave that particular quandary to us. I must ask the guards stand down and allow us to engage the leader of Eaters alone. Concentrate on the survivors. We must save every life we can. But what if... Understood, my lord. As captain of the guard, however, I will not watch you brave such dangers without an escort. I insist I go with you. Oh, right, sorry, the light spawn. My bad. Very well. Our warden slaying party includes myself, the Captain Lina, and last but not least, the most powerful person on the planet. Oh, there's my favorite animation. A formidable group indeed. Into Holminster we go. Look, we're not exactly like world enders, but... Oh, here we go. So, the instance dungeons encountered in Shadowbringers' main scenario quests, and only main scenario quests, and not the side quests, because screw you, can be completed solo alongside a supported party of NPCs. To make use of this feature, simply speak with one of your NPC companions near the entrance, and select the options to form a party. When forming a party, you need to do the same role restrictions imposed on the Duty Finder. Why? Alternatively, you can find party members via the Duty Finder as usual and complete it with fellow players instead. Alright, now, this is probably going to get a plus. But I do wish this was even more. And I've talked about this before. So, one of the things that I wish... In fact, the thing I wish this did was I wish it gave me the option to, for example, recruit... so we got Zira as a bard. I keep trying to say archer. Zira's a bard, Rax is a dragoon, I'm a healer. So it would be awesome if I could recruit the Exarch as a tank, and then Rax and Zira, and then we could do the dungeon. But it's all or nothing. All players or all NPCs. And I think that sucks. Don't mistake me, it's still a good thing to have the trust option. I just think that would be awesome. So what do we got here? There might be, so we're cooking. I like this. His class is all-rounder. That's hysterical. She's apparently a dancer. I guess, of course, she's a dancer. I saw her already. Well, and of course, I can't bring Alphino. I'm the healer. I wish they would expand this to lower content as well. That would also be awesome. I know we already have the squadron system, and I've actually believed the squadron system was a prototype for this system, but I still prefer the trust system overall from what I understand of it. Anyways, I guess we'll just do this. Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, this is the only option, given this loadout. But yeah, I think the trust system is probably going to get a positive by itself. Possibly more than one. Like, possibly a story and a gameplay plus. We'll see. I know, Omega Legion, I know, there's always the resource problem. I do get it. I'm still allowed to say that it would be cool, damn it. Okay. let's see how bad we are, shall we? Yeah, I saw a lot of cocoons here. They swell their wank with wild beasts. I fear for the village. Let us make short work of these here, says Lina. Is any of this going to be voice acted? I'm just curious. Any of their stuff, I mean. Ah, that's a pity. So you want me to blame myself, Alpedrix? Oh, I should... I'm gonna have an espresso. Ah, there we go. That tasted terrible. Ah, ah, I need something to get that out of my mouth. Okay. We're good, we're good. Since when is clamor a sin? That's a pity, Rax. Oh, well. I hate to compare this game to WoW yet again, but one of the things I actually liked about WoW, I guess this would be from Wrath onwards, actually, is it became the norm for all of the dialogue, all of it, in a dungeon to be voice acted. Now, that's if you don't get the point of that, there are several NPCs that are regular story NPCs that have a lot of lines of dialogue, but the only time they're voice acted is when they show up in a dungeon. You know what's really funny, Plouty? No joke, I had an eclair for lunch this morning. This lunch. You know what I mean. I guess I should get used to using this thing, shouldn't I? I can't? Oh. That's a 74 ability. I'm 71 right now. God, that drives me batty. That makes sense, Rax, yeah. That's probably pretty much the same mentality went into it. FF14 did it for MSQ, WoW did it for Dungeons. Nowadays, both seem to be leaning more towards more voice acting, which I'm in favor of. Speaking of which, I should be using cards more often. I like the music. What else has he, she, it done, Rax, out of curiosity? So I want to test something real quick. Okay, that's what I thought. They're probably technically at me, or ahead of me, and there's just server lag getting in the way. That actually helps, Neptune, thank you. I admittedly saw the list and just kind of pieced out, like, nope. Like, I actually knew all the old cards by heart, because I played this quite a bit. Like, you know, all the actually hard stuff I did as this class. Thanks, Lina. Thanks, appreciate that. Interesting. Which one was Dawn of Mana? Was that the PS2 one or the GBA one? Excuse me, DS one. Okay. Damn. I'm sorry, I hated Dawn of Mana, that's why I was like, huh. Oh, wait. And I don't remember Drakengard 2's music at all, and I haven't played 3. I guess I should... I've gotten... One of the things that FF14 does, and we've actually talked about this on stream, one of the things that FF14 does is the abilities you have access to varies depending on your current scaled level. Now, that is probably, I'd say, my third biggest complaint about this game overall. I hate that, and I could go down the list of why I hate that. And we have talked about this. We've talked about why it exists and why it shouldn't exist and how we could work around it, but God, that drives me batty. So, just now, I was thinking to myself, God, I don't really have anything to do. Because I have gotten so... Item sync is fine. Item sync has plenty of reason to exist, and I'm with that. Ability sync, it kind of helps to discourage you from learning your build. Because you're not used to your build, you're used to your build -3 or -5 or whatever it actually is, right? So, point in fact, I was just thinking to myself, what else can I do in this situation? Because nobody's taking any real damage. Because I am so used to being too low level to have this spell. Which is actually something I can do right now. Hell, point in fact, I was going to start using this new spell, the new cooldown thing, and kind of try that out. I can't! Ugh. And in case I haven't complained about this enough, WoW is going to be implementing this system as an option going forward. It's basically going to add syncing, so you can sync to a lower level. That's for quests or for dungeons, both. And in so doing, your abilities will be locked down to what you don't have. So... that's gonna suck. Keep in mind that there's already a form of player syncing which is awesome, and is in fact one of the most brilliant pieces of code I've ever seen in my life. And for some reason they've decided to do the ability syncing instead of that. I don't know, Dakota. I really don't. Like, okay. Doing, what do you call it? Synced in FF14 terms? Synced runs? I'm with that. I totally get that. I really do. It's for, you know what? I want to do, because I'm insane, I want to do Molten Core at level. That makes sense. There are people who want that. And having the synced option to do that, yes, I'm with that. Locking them down... yeah, exactly. Locking them down to the abilities, though, that's... especially since in both MMOs I'm discussing, 14 and WoW, your build is completely different, and in some cases deliberately absent. Like, your build isn't, because you're missing abilities that fulfill it. There's... you know? I mean, you play a friggin' Dragoon, Rex, you know what I'm talking about. I knew it. That's the Eater from Amarang. Yeah, it is her. Because the wing. Poke.
Let's give them a show.
Alright, I don't know what the hell she does. And there's no dungeon log, so I can't figure it out. So we're just going to figure this out blind. We're going to go and pop this now, though. So here's my usual healer spot. I don't think I've seen that color before. That kind of light greenish one. Oh, ha-ha, Valverdrix. Yeah, we'll give it to LSA. Actually, I guess one of them's a caster and one of them's a melee. I should have taken that into account. Whatever. I feel you, Larian. I don't particularly care for the overall loadout of the UI. And I know I can customize it more. It's just, I don't think I can customize it more to the point where I actually like it, if that makes any sense. Like, I have trouble, as is, seeing what the class icons are on the lower right, so I can't make those any smaller. I absolutely cannot make the abilities in the bottom smaller, because I need to be able to see my cooldowns. Which I already have trouble enough with, especially my procs. I really have trouble seeing my procs. That's hysterical, Valadrix. And kind of awesome. Wait a minute, what is this? DPS who are prioritizing avoiding mechanics over DPSing? These aren't real DPSs.
No mercy.
Anyway, so I can't shrink the hotbars. In fact, if anything, I wish I could make them bigger. But, you know, we've already got a lot of space that's being taken up by other crap. I can't do anything with the lower right. The lower left is already shrunk to the point where I have trouble seeing it in some cases. I can't really do anything with the party windows in the upper left, which is most of what I care about as a healer. My health bar is as enlarged as it possibly can be, specifically because I have a really hard time seeing my own health when it's not in the middle of the screen. By the way, you'll notice that with the one exception, I haven't been getting hit by stuff. I only point that out because anybody who knows how much I played this game knows that I have had horrendous latency issues, which have basically been fixed by the new internet. So that was one of my biggest complaints by far with this game. Just a whole lot of my complaints about this game were that. Anyways. God, these deeps are slow. What else? I actually have trouble seeing which dots and buffs are up at any given point in time. Mostly the dots. I'm just gonna get hit by this one. Okay, apparently I had time for that. Whatever. I mean, I guess I could, but what would that change, Silver Cookie? All that would do is make it so the class stuff isn't there anymore, which, shrug? A hat of healing. Oh, whoops, I was over here. Yeah, that's probably junk? It's equivalent. Then we have the quest log. I can't really do anything with the quest log. I kind of need to see my quest log. And that's basically everything. Like, I don't know what else to change at this point. Anyways, oh my god, go! Take refuge in the Crystarium! God, they're gonna kill me. Damn loot. Clogging up my thing. That being said, I'm actually pretty happy with the party window in the upper left. I mean, at this point, I almost don't need the class bar as much as I used to, since there's really only two classes I care about that much. My 370s. I was actually debating letting one... In fact, you know what? For the sake of testing, I'm gonna stop healing and let them die. I want to see what happens. I may have to do that on a boss. Steal your hearts. There may be others we can save. Well, then go. Also, this is a lot of arable terrain. Holy crap. No wonder we have food. I'm pretty sure I turned that option off, the quest log thing. It's pretty quick to quit it. Like, MP regens extremely quickly. Damn it, I'm healing. Die! Yeah, I'm a terrible healer, you can tell.
You underestimate me.
I mean, I've healed almost as long as I have tanked in these type of games. Almost. I mean, I heal on a red mage all the time, so yeah. That makes sense. I was actually thinking that for me, trust system isn't really all that useful compared to just pugging. But for a DPS main, this is probably invaluable. I have been made fun of for years because I main tanks and healers, so I don't have an issue with queue times. I never have. Why would I, right? Oh, here we go. Letting the debuff sit there. This is totally it. He's totes gonna die. Letting Lina take damage too, so that they'll heal her instead. I bet they're just thinking, what is the Warrior of Light doing? We're about to die. I know. I want you to die. I want to see what happens when you fall. Well, they killed one of the mobs, so now they're probably ahead of the curve. Ooh, I have an idea. Never do this. Unless you know what you're doing. Never do this. And... dead. Okay.
Forgive me.
Up with full health. Not too shabby. Hey, Samurai Jack. Blue. Wait, was blue melee or was blue caster? God, I've already forgotten. I will get it in my head at some point if I keep doing this. I know what you're thinking. Just mouse over it. I actually can't. I guess I could do it here. What do we got here? Is that a blue? Okay, blue is melee. I was right. Move. God. Would you guys hurry up? Don't make me triple pull. God. I have 2 DPS abilities, and they are both crap. Here's the other one. I don't know. I don't like to spam one button long term. Kind of gets to my fingers, you know. Why am I looting? What's wrong with me? Oh, I do have gravity. That's true. Which is right there. Now, they actually changed gravity, which is kind of funny. Gravity used to cost an inordinate amount of MP, like all of the MP, so you can only cast it like 5 times in a row spamming. Looks like they have improved that. I'm kind of out of bar space, but I could move it somewhere. Oh. Oh, hey, it's Tesleen, the Forgiven. Well, time to kill Tesleen. So are you going to pull, or do I have to? Let's see what happens here. They do pull without me. Interesting. What's this one? Oh, that's that. That's my oh crap button. God, do I even have light speed on the bar anymore? I don't think I do. I do. It's right there. No, I got you. So I moved it over by it. Oh my god, they came to me. They're already better than pugs. Why do they spread out then? Is it a cleave? Okay, it is a cleave. I thought it was. That's why... Because I noticed the first time I did it, it hit me and whoever I was standing next to. How many of you guys ever get kicked from a group, or yelled at in a group, because as a healer you weren't DPSing enough? That's interesting. They went over there. Hi, Oblivious Slinky. Oh, I hate this. Here's the boss music. Here's the boss music. This is a new bug, assuming it is a bug. This started happening in Stormblood. I assumed they were going to me, and that's why I decided to stand put to see if they would go back to me after they finished moving. It's not a bug. Then it's crap! But I can't give it a negative. I do hate this, though. If you've never played an FF game, I recommend playing Final Fantasy IV on Steam with easy mode. That is the exact requirement I have at this point. Or the exact recommendation I have. Excuse me, not requirement. Also, hi, Hateful Jerk. No, that's 6, Oblivious Slinky. Go. Hello, Nakamikado. What's going on? I keep freaking out. This has been happening ever since Shadowbringers came out. I keep going and being like, oh god, we don't have Protect up. I need to fix that. Oh, of course you're going to go here. Why wouldn't you? This isn't even a bad song per se, it's just way too repetitive, considering how long boss fights last. It's an okay game. I enjoy the story quite a bit. I'm rather invested in it. But I do have trouble playing it, I'll admit it. I don't quite care for the gameplay. I just never have. So I've been paying attention to how they do the trusts. As weird as this may sound, it looks like they are a combination of scripts and gambits. Now, that probably sounds like I'm being redundant, but what I mean by that is hard scripts. Boss is doing X, I should do Y. That's what I mean when I say scripting. Like a very specific set of if-thens in order to be specific to the boss fight. Which makes sense. That's probably what I would try to do as well. And then they have just their typical gambits. Use this move, and then this move, and then this move on this priority. If this, then this. You know, blah, 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 blah. Heal fellows if they need healing. Blah, 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 blah. You get the idea. And I have to admit, that's probably how I would do it too, especially given the severe limitations of the system they're working with. Like here, they clearly just shut off the gambits for this, even though there's no reason for it. We can keep attacking her and casting and doing all sorts of stuff right now. We're not. Like, you get my point? Oh, I suppose I could blow this here. Boop. And yeah, I guess I could do this as well. I do like the end boss music of Stormblood quite a bit, but I think everyone in the world does, so it's not exactly unique to me. Alright, where are you going? Where are you going? Roll this again while we're here. I don't think I've heard... In fact, I know I haven't heard Shadowbringers yet, because this is my first dungeon in Shadowbringers. So here's the out of combat HP regen. Looks like about 10 seconds. See you around, Dakota. Oh, goody. That's not for me. Thankfully, that song is over with. Oh, please, get away. And they're super dead. We were too slow to save them. Yeah, guys, if your DPS was higher, we might have been able to save them. I mean, I'll be honest, I think bosses in general last too long. In MMOs, not just in this one. Like, holy crap.
On guard!
Then we all die, Night Forager. All of us. Huh. Okay. I mean, I've been down for dungeons being story-heavy for a while. And mostly because of WoW. I say that yet again, but like Rax was talking about earlier, dungeons basically were the MSQ equivalent in WoW for a long time. Still are to some extent. So having story-heavy dungeons is something I've been in favor of since forever. MSQ stands for Main Story Quest, Nakamikado. A lot of MMOs have a concept similar to that. For example, Lord of the Rings Online has what is called book quests, and those are the same equivalent. It's the main coherent plot for any given area. World of Warcraft has regional quests, which is actually a recent invention. That didn't come around until Warlords, actually. Guild Wars 2 has the... I don't remember what they call it, actually. And yeah, Tor has the class quests, in addition to the planetary primary and the planetary secondary, but the class quests are really the main thing in Tor. Yeah, FF14, I would say that a fairly large... Thank you, the personal story and the living world. That's the stuff in Guild Wars 2. That is correct. Because it was the personal story up until Vanilla was done, and now it's the living world going forward. But anyways, I do like the concept. Obviously, every MMO I just mentioned has that, to some extent or another. In fact, I think the only MMO I really enjoy that doesn't have that is STO. And that's just because every quest in STO is main story quest. Like, if you pull up your quest log, and if you just go, that's the main story quest, just going down the quest log. This for a bit. No, there's probably some survivors, Bragwin. Don't tell her, guys. I don't think she can take it. Yeah, it does fit the Star Trek universe, exactly. Like, basically, to put it simply, there are no real side quests in STO. There's just quests. There are non-story events you can do, but those aren't actually quests in any sense of the word. Hey, my spirit bond is complete. Not that I do that. Listen, I'm sure materia is awesome for min-maxing. I just don't care all that much. No, spirit bonding has to do with materia, which frankly other people are better equipped to talk about, because I don't do it. Oh, I should probably heal. I just realized we'll never have a full limit break with this setup either, will we? No, Night Forager.
On guard!
Well, as a healer, I'll let them do the trusts. Or the limit breaks. Although, we have a crap limit break set up here. We've got a ranged limit break and a ranged limit break. Yeah, I've gotten out of the habit of using limit breaks on my red mage, which for the longest time was my main. Why is this happening? We are close. Be on your guard. Do they sprint with me? They do sprint with me. I also just noticed he has the light gear from... I can't remember the name of the place. So, let's see what the boss music is, shall we? Palace of the Dead, that's it. We stand in the presence of a Light Warden. This is the true scourge of Lakeland. Oh god, it's totally a nobody.
Are you hurt?
Hey man, I'm not one to talk. I actually like the Alexander music, so I'm a weirdo.
There'll be nothing left of you but a smoking crater.
And there she goes. I was just waiting for her to do it as soon as we hit limit 2. And of course, we all know the best song is an Alexander song. To go forward and back, and then forward, and then back, and then forward, and then back. I've never even heard of Blood, Disco Inferno.
Oh God!
Eh. And then it explodes with light. Ugh, we're dead. If only we had a warrior of light to absorb all of the light. I am ready to fulfill my destiny. Hi, Alphino. Where the hell were you? Well, the party size was 4. But you were right there! Yeah, well... Look, party size limits... I've argued this before. You know my point at this point. Yeah, he was helping people get out. Sure. It's too dangerous, I know, Casual.
It's releasing its ether! Fall back! We cannot let it touch us! Quickly, my lord, we must withdraw!
That will not be necessary, Captain. Though I appreciate your concern. The eternal light of these creatures has confounded us for nigh on 100 years. For each we have put down, another has risen up in its place, born of the self-same ether relinquished by its predecessor. But now we have a way to contain that corruption.
Yeah, I got this, guys, don't worry. I'm ready to be even more powerful than I already am.
And the hero who wields it now stands before you.
And yes, McBrain, I would say this is a good MMO. Some people would disagree. Rax in chat, he hates this game, but... I swear to God, you tell me to hear, think, and feel, I'm gonna smack you. Kind of feels like it, yeah, Alex. I'm curious where that'll go long term. Oh, hey, it's nighttime right now.
Behold, The monster's power is broken, and the world, twisted by its touch, returns to its rightful form.
Man, my eyes got used to that. I didn't realize that until it became dark. I mean, technically we brought darkness, Valbadrix, so I guess it kind of applies. I can imagine people literally blundering into each other because they have trouble seeing. Like, imagine being so adjusted to the light. I mean, I don't even have to say that. Just look into a light for a while and then look away.
It can't be.
What's happening?
It's so beautiful.
Really, Rax? That doesn't surprise me.
Sunless sea. The warrior of darkness has come.
Is that what I think it is?
The night sky. As it should be.
Who are you people? You killed a warden, then bathed in its ether as if it were a spring shower, and now the sky? The legends are true. My lord?
How many years have I waited for this moment? For the one possessed of her blessing. For you. You have vanquished the Light Warden of Lakeland, and for the first time in a century, darkness has returned to the mantle of night. Without the ever-present light to sustain them, the Sin Eaters will have no choice but to retreat. Yet our victory is far from complete. Though darkness has fallen here, the other Wardens yet bask beneath burning skies, feasting upon what little life remains. Even should it cost me all I have, I would see each and every one of them slain, that this world might be spared from oblivion. Not only for the first, but for the source as well. Save one, and we save the other. But, be that as it may, I concede it was wrong of me to summon you to this fight against your will.
Oh, now that comes up.
I swear, on my life, I will one day atone for that deed. But for the present, I beg you, stay and see this fight to its conclusion. Cast down the Wardens and restore darkness to the first.
Sounds like a glorious adventure. Or if you prefer, sounds like a glorious adventure. No, I will become the warrior you need. I have always been the warrior you need.
On behalf of the First, I offer you my deepest thanks.
I understand there is much at stake here, Exarch, but why do you risk yourself so readily? It must have been a dangerous drain on your ether to summon even one person across the rift.
I mean, in his defense, he had years in between each summoning to do it. Time dilation.
I do it for my people, of course. To give the Crystarium the tomorrow it deserves.
That is true now, yes, but the city had yet to be built when you first called forth the Crystal Tower. I'm simply curious to know what prompted you to commit yourself so completely to this particular course.
There are things which we can ill afford to lose. And I sensed from the first that I had a part to play in preserving them. Forgive me. I fear the events of the day may have taken their toll. Despite appearances, I am an old man. One burdened with many difficult memories, some too painful to recall.
Well then, I'm sorry for pressing you. It's a family failing, I'm afraid.
One which has served us well more often than not. Needless to say, we will continue to fight at your side until the last Sin Eater is defeated.
Come then, my warriors of darkness. Let us gather the surviving villagers and make our way back to the Crystarium.
There is precious little story content I have not done prior to Shadowbringers Permeus. In fact, I think there's literally none other than side quests. In fact, the only quests I had that I was still planning to do prior to Shadowbringers was Extreme Bismarck, Extreme what's-his-face, Bug Guy, I can never think of his name, and the Anima quest. Yeah, these three quests right here. Ravana, that's his name. How quickly you have justified my faith in you. So many lives saved, and the sky itself heralds your success. Apparently now it's just cloudy. That's ironic. A single victory in a larger struggle, perhaps, but a momentous one nonetheless. I mean, I'm up to basically the last real step, which is the light farming. I got through all the dreck, and I got to the light farming, and I ran into a wall. No, I have not max time. If I do, I will probably do so on camera. Oh yeah, the ARR relic, I've given up completely on. I got to a certain step and said, yep, that's good. Now, as for how to proceed from here. First, we stab her. The villagers we evacuated have arrived safely in the Crystarium. They seem to be accepting their situation for the moment. Most folk are far too distracted by the sky to worry about wounds or lost homes. They whisper and wonder if the warrior of darkness has come. Tis to be expected. Laura, I must ask a favor of you. Would you be so kind as to conceal your involvement for the time being? I don't want the credit. Seeing as the light receded from Lakeland is a momentous occasion, many will be swept up in the maelstrom of excitement and confusion. Should you come forth as the legendary warrior of darkness, I fear that no matter how good your intentions, such appearance would throw the city into disarray. I find myself in agreement with the Exarch, though my concerns are more focused on Yulmore. It may be best if you maintain a low profile until we see how Vothri responds to all this. I'm guessing he's going to throw a tantrum. Call it a wild guess. My thanks, though we cannot freely celebrate your success. Pray allow your heart to be buoyed by the joy of our citizens, a joy you brought into being yourself. I must ask the same discretion of you.
Come, pay close attention. Hopefully you'll learn something.
Sakage. It is my intention to share with our people the tale of the great Sakage who stood in defiance of the Sin Eaters. The unnamed Sakage defeated the Light Warden and has since departed for parts unknown, yes? As you wish, my lord. Your penchant for mystery is nothing new, and I will encourage folks not to question this either. Although I expect to be told the truth of it one day, about all of you. I'm from another planet. I already told you this, lady. It's the first thing I said to you. God, learn to listen. With that settled, I shall return to the Crystarium and make an address to the people. These explanations and adjustments. I don't know that yet in character, Rex. Will consume much of my time. Pray take the opportunity to rest and recover from your exploits, and to think you'll not even be able to shutter the windows to enjoy a dark and peaceful night's sleep. Oh god, their sleep schedule's going to be completely thrown. Everyone's sleep schedule's going to be so thrown. Ah, thank you very much, Sakage. Ah, much appreciated as always, sir. And I'll put that into Halo. I assume you mean Halo 1, by the way, just to clarify. Day lasts 1 hour. Ah! Okay. So, Sakage asks, is this Final Fantasy? I don't play MMORPGs much in the last 10 years. Yes, this is Final Fantasy XIV. It is, to be clear, I don't like the fact that they named these after the mainline series. The only reason they did that with FF11 was as a branding tactic, a marketing tactic, to be more accurate. And I get why they did it. It's the same reason they named something Final Fantasy Adventure or Final Fantasy Legends. But if for all intents and purposes, this is a mainline Final Fantasy game. It's just a very, very long one that requires a monthly subscription. What's the PC in the setting? You're looking at him. It's a nameless, faceless, voiceless, personality-less individual, which we play as. Which goes back to something I think Nightforger asked earlier. What do you think of the voiceless protagonist? I've never liked it, and I never will. I think at best it is acceptable. I think at absolute best the voiceless protagonist is going to be a net neutral for me. There are ways to make that work. There are ways to make that actually... Basically, to give the player expression despite not having a voice. A perfect example of that would be Doom 4. The Doom guy in Doom 4 was a voiceless protagonist who had personality. We see this in some of the Links in the Zelda series. We see this kind of in Gordon Freeman. It is possible to do some good stuff with it. But I do think, personally, that you're starting at a negative, basically. Which is why I say it equals up to a neutral at best. Anyways, I hesitate to ask after all you've done today, but could you pass on a message on your way to the Pendants? Please let Bragi know we are bringing in a number of injured, and any restoratives in the markets need to be reserved for the infirmary. I mean, I do agree it's usually bad. Even Chrono over in Chrono Trigger only really has one actual decent scene to him. For the most part, he might as well not even be there, other than being the guy who has the lightning element. We should start making our own way back to the Crystarium. Slowly, mind you. It wouldn't do to arrive too soon after the Exarch. I'm staying behind as well. There's something I need to check on in Holminster. We already went through the village top to bottom, Alize. We should take all the chance to rest. You included. Or be honest with me. I knew one of those eaters, and I can't just rest. Not now. Okay, that's fair. That is fair. So please, I wish to be left alone for a while. That means you as well, Lore. I'll be cross if you try to follow me. Quest objective, follow Alice. Just you and me, then, shall we? I have noticed we have a few more gradients of our personality in this one, although it's only really shown up a couple of times thus far. But it's there, and it's appreciated. What time is it? The hero in Dragon Quest VIII also had the moments of characterization thing going for him, despite having no voice. I'm debating something, Rex. That's why I'm humming. I suppose I could ask you. Do you mind helping me with something, Rex? You don't have to. In fact, I suppose I could ask you how necessary it is. So I was thinking about taking a trip over here and basically getting the flight path early, right? And in so doing, whenever the quests lead up there, I'd be able to go right there instead of taking the long trip up there. Now, I don't know if that's necessary because sometimes the quests teleport you there. And sometimes they don't. I guess you're group lead of your own group. But I think I'm basically going to chop off here-ish. So... I don't see a way to see which weathering I'm in. That's weird. Because I know there's multiple instances. There's apparently a place right there, too. What the hell? Ow. Hello, Lucas Mora. Oh my god. I'm going to call you Lucas. Two? It looks like I'm in 2. No, I haven't, Permeus. I'm assuming I have to go to a bell for that. Actually, WoW does that now, Rax. Although they did have to add that. So, it's no wonder you think that. No, STO is what I was thinking of, which doesn't automatically port you in at all. So you got to pull up the map, which is actually a function of the mini-map of all things, and be like, aha! I'm in... And then you have to... It's kind of a pain, basically. It's an irritation. There we go. Thank you, sir. A Kyvril Valem for this long trip. We got to make sure we stay hydrated. Well, I'm going to be streaming again in probably about an hour, good senator, give or take, depending on when people become available. You know, this looks cool, but I cannot help but think about how incredibly impractical it is to have the jutting out below. Like, that's just begging to catch on stuff, you know? Especially since the driver has to always mentally think of the fact that there's another 10 feet below them. I mean, think about that. Hey, I'm getting experience. So, fun fact, I did Stormblood and got stuff ahead of PAX, right? Because you can't co-op in these games. It's my biggest complaint about this game, by the way. And one of the things I actually did was I had a flying mount, and I knew how to fly, so I just flew around getting him to his various aether currents and explore experience to help him catch up. So it is kind of cool that they let you do this. Hey, I can dismount. Who knew? Hey, Zero. Oh, God. Yeah, exactly. Next time. Oh, I still wish I could have shown that off in the FF15 lore run, but whatever. Crash and burn. Okay, so now that I have that, thank you. Let's go turn this in. And I expect to get a vector quest after this, which is when I'll probably chop off for real. Plus, I did what he asked me to do. I took a little while to come here. A vector quest. I actually usually refer to those as go-tos. In other words, you need to go to this northern area up here. Here's the quest to go up there. A vector quest. Well, the Crystarium seems relatively ordered. The Exarch's speech must have been reassuring to hear. On the contrary, there's something jubilant in the air. I have a feeling this night won't be as peaceful as our hooded friend predicted. Yeah, in about 9 months, a whole lot of people are about to be born. I think I shall take a brief stroll around town before retiring to my chambers. Once you've discharged your duty to Bragi, I suggest you do the same. Sleep well, Lore. I hope untroubled dreams find you and Alice both. trying to remember who Broggy is. What can I do for you? Looking to buy a lantern? Like every other stumbling soul in the city? Okay, they're acknowledging that people are having trouble seeing. Good. I see. Captain Lyda can rest assured any potions I spot coming in I will set aside for the wounded. Hang on a moment. If you're carrying a message for the guard, does that mean you were there at the Battle of Holminster? A stalwart lad like you might want to pay a visit to the Wandering Stairs, make himself known. I'm sure Glynard can introduce you to some interesting opportunities. Yes, good. Alright, what am I looking at? Other than Muleton and Workaton. Apparently they have some money on them. Well, whatever, let's pull out Workaton. Hey, what's up? Well, oh, that's right, that's the pixie. Hi, yeah, is he full? No, he's got some room. Yeah, so could you take, like, everything? Just get all this crud out of my inventory, please. Like, get out of here. Don't even know what half this stuff is. Yeah, I don't know what any of the materia is. Like, I haven't touched materia, so I don't know what any of that crap is, really. I do have a couple of dyes on me, yes. One or two. Somewhere. What's that? It's even more materia. God, whatever. I will keep the 97 black dye on me, though. You never know. Get out of my inventory. Wish there was a way to do this better. There isn't. Is everything? That's everything. That's better. Okay. Be gone. Oh, and bring back, like, a lot of food. Just all the food. I have a lot of people to give it to. Yeah, it would be nice to have a repair all. So, funny fact. So, I've talked about tech debt, right? And I've talked about... Do you want my materia, by the way? I don't care. I'm sorry, I just noticed you were asking for my crap. Unfortunately, I don't think there's a trade all option either. Anyways, I talked about tech debt and the problems of an old engine. So Guild Wars 2 still has repairs for armor. Did you know it's free? Let me explain that in case you don't get it. The repair concept and the durability concept are still in the game because they basically can't remove it from the engine. But they want to. So what they did was they made a lot of repair vendors all over the place in basically every major area who repair all your equipment for free. You just click them and done. That's tech debt in a nutshell right there. More beer, table for 2, and a couple of pints of meat for table 3 while you're at it. Coming right up. Wander. Oh, sorry, we're rushed off our feet today, sir. Can I get you anything? Drinks on the house! Oh, that Broggy has a twisted sense of humor. Ha 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 ha. To think he'd send you to me at a time like this. First real night in 100 years has folks riled up and then some. What's more, there was that eater business in Holminster Switch. They say a light warden was destroyed without a damn trace, and it was the warrior of darkness who did the deed. I really must apologize for Glynard. He's been almost as rowdy as our customers, and that's no small feat. A lot of our regulars are bounty hunters, you see. They mostly go after eaters, and the rumors of a warrior's appearance was the spark to their kindling. You know how the weak eaters are drawn to the strong ones, right? They swarm like angry bees around a queen. You need look no further than Holminster for proof of that, but attacks on that scale don't happen every day. Praise the blessed shadow. No, the more common threats are the strays. No one knows why, but every now and again an eater will leave the pack to prowl alone. These are the ones you run to the road if your luck is foul. They're a danger to everyone, so the settlement council puts bounties on their head. And our bar is a convenient place for hunters to gear and share their information. Seems a few of these were inspired by the Warden slaying even more than most. There are types that have set their sights on the absolute worst of the strays, a class of eaters that's been dubbed the Cardinal Virtues. The Virtues showed up out of nowhere about 3 summers ago when the historians heard the descriptions given by survivors, and well, they apparently share an appearance with the villains who caused the flood. Oh, that's why there's 4 of them. That's cute. And if that doesn't send a chill down your spine, they're also reported to be as tough as Light Wardens. Not the kind of prey you can take down single-handed. Our virtue hunters had all but given up, but knowing the warrior of darkness is out there has lit a fire in their bellies. Just look at them. That over there is a Hume with the oversized sword. His name is Granson. He's in it for revenge. Wants to recruit a comrade-at-arms as tenacious as he is tank. The Mistal is Luke Reek. Don't be fooled by those doughy cheeks. He's as hard a hunter as they come. He just lost a partner and seems to be on the lookout for a new one. Range DPS. That's Serig. Word is he's an expert in magecraft to help find the virtue he's after. Ranged caster, I guess? I don't know. Yeah, we'll go with ranged caster. And Giot. A dwarf and a drunkard both. Wanted to join forces with a healer, and only a healer. Something about needing a mentor's wisdom. Healer. Yeah, I keep forgetting they separate it so weird in this one. It's like tank, melee DPS, melee range, or excuse me, I'm still saying it wrong. Melee physical, and then ranged physical, and then ranged caster, and then healer. And I'm used to thinking of it as melee DPS, ranged DPS, and then tank healer. Anyways, I've seen my share of competent veterans, and you're totally the one. Go do your class quest. Melee caster? Monk over in WoW would probably qualify. The Fire Warlock, back when that was a thing, would also qualify. Again, WoW. So yeah, I have unlocked Giot, and that is it. I do not... I'm pretty sure my other thing... Yeah, I don't have... Oh, wait, maybe. Hang on. Holy crap, I could actually do the tank one, even although I'm only 70. You lied to me. Yeah, Shaman would also qualify as a melee caster in some setups. I don't think that's actually true anymore, but, you know. So hang on. And then we had, I don't know, Samurai, I guess. Yeah, way too low on that one. And, I guess Caster would be Red Mage. Which it looks like I can also do. Again, the initial one. Interesting. Well, either way, we're actually not going to pick that up just yet. Debate. Let's go turn this in. Tomorrow we'll start the... What's this? Class quests. What does this unlock? Ah, clan hunts. Okay. Yes, I'm returning to my quarters. In light of the present situation, I have an illumination prepared for all our rooms. You know, I'd complain about why they even do that, like know about indoor lighting and whatnot, but I guess at the same time, even though it's always daylight, doesn't mean it's always bright inside. Like, if I turn off all the lights inside my room here, this place is very dark, even in the middle of the day, so I guess that does make sense. I knew about that, Permeus. It's one of the reasons I even started thinking about the whole witch job to push problem. I was actually thinking something similar, Rax. Same thing I did with the existing class quests. I wouldn't do a class quest until I hit 50, then I could do it all in one bundle. which flowed a lot better for me. Same with
So
60.
It's your lot's turn to be the warriors of darkness, is it? It's funny how things work out.
Been watching, have you?
Well, I did warn you. I followed you to Yulmore and then on to Armarang. And I was there when you slew the Light Warden. Those white-haired twins who were with you. I remember them from our battle in the Source. Are they your friends then? Through thick and thin?
Yes, they are my party members.
Aye. Then I suggest you keep them close. It's when you charge ahead trying to save someone else that you end up losing those you love. Not that you need telling, I'll bet you've lost plenty. But I wonder, what will it cost you this time? I don't remember when it was that I learned regret wasn't worth the bother. You get numb to it all over the years. The lost comrades, the broken promises, the abandoned principles. Just more nagging burdens to ignore.
So this is what the light was hiding. He's here. I must go to him.
But will you actually do anything this expansion? Sorry. Or will you sit there in town, stuffing your face while sending me on quests? Meanwhile, inside an Imperial Magitek facility in the Source. This is a literal meanwhile elsewhere.
Turn out and find them!
Is that Estinian? Jesus Christ, Estinian, what are you doing?
Out of my way!
Is he just declaring war on the Empire?
We are not your enemy.
If that's true, I'm actually totally down with that. Estinian's one of the only individuals who's close to our power level in this setting, and we should totally go crush the Garleans. Or at least, the problem with the Garleans, I should say, to be more accurate about that. Speaking of awesome characters...
When the alarm sounded, I wondered what we had done to betray our presence. But I see now we are not the only intruders. Sir Estinian, I presume. The dragoon who plucked the warrior of light from the jaws of death? Your armor is most distinct.
Of course, Permeus.
Much as yours once was. But even without it, I see a former legator still has eyes and ears in unexpected places. Van Baelsar, in the flesh. Though I understand you prefer Shadow Hunter.
You are in contact with the Scions, I take it.
You know, I liked his old voice actor, I think it was Epcar. But it's hard to hate his new voice actor, because he's really good.
Through no choice of my own, they tracked me down and conscripted me to their cause. I swear the receptionist was trained as a spy. Not that anyone can escape that Baldessian woman once she has caught the scent of your ether.
If they have resorted to using freelancers, I must assume their attempts to wake the afflicted have failed.
Hold up, hold up. Tataru hunted down Estinian.
And what of their champion?
I'm sorry, I can just picture that. I can just picture that sequence of events. Who dares find my terror? Like he's hiding in some lair in the middle of BF nowhere. I sense someone has intruded in my lair. Pulls out the Dragoon Spear. I am ready for Tataru. I found you!
Away on other business. Thus, it has fallen to me to root out any trace of the Empire's new weapon.
If it is Black Rose you seek, you are too late. My people have already completed your mission here. Yet this is but one factory among many. When they caught wind of our efforts, they built additional facilities to ensure production continues unabated. There will be no one left in the lands they conquer. No citizens to conscript. No skills to exploit. Nothing the Empire needs. And they will call it victory.
Where I'm from, we call that Darth Malaching.
What exactly does this Black Rose do?
The gas is described as a poison, but its actual effect is more arcane in nature. It was created to disrupt the ether in living beings, to bring the flow of their life energies to a standstill. Inhaling even the tiniest amount will cause all bodily functions to cease, much as a potent venom will stop a man's heart. Released over a city, Black Rose could conceivably kill every inhabitant, and all without damaging a single structure.
Search every corner! Rouse the barracks if you have to! I want this facility secured!
I have more questions, but now is not the time.
Sir Estinian, I have an offer for you, but I will make it only once. Since it would seem we seek the same answers, you are welcome to join us.
Ha! From what I hear, you need all the help you can get. In case you don't know, Varys himself confessed that your empire was a creation of the Ascians.
I am aware of what his Radiance said at the parley. Thus I would return to the capital, that I might behold the truth of this corruption with my own eyes. My path leads to Garlemald.
See, this is the inverse of things. I've talked about several negatives I can't give this because they're part of the game. There's a couple positives I can't give the game either. I can't just say Estinian positive. Doesn't work that way. Unless... No, I'm kidding. I'm going to chop off here, though.